Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host Rob, and it's ladies' night. It's Thursday night. It's Warhammer 40,000 night, and that means I'm joined by two of the greatest men in all of Warhammer. Nikos.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Ça va?
Merci beaucoup. And Tom the Hair Layton.
Excellent.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Yeah?
I'm itchy.
All right, let's move straight on.
there is cream for that, Tom.
Oh, okay, thank you.
So hello to everyone in the chat. With Phil, Sinise, Arkian, Zenminis, John, Eyeglasses, Full Greamer. I hope you're all really well. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. They've been enjoying the intro wub wubs. Obviously, if you're watching us live on Facebook or
the
on YouTube,
Gene Stealer Cut Wub Wubs.
Yeah, Gene Stealer Cut Wub Wubs. Please like, share, comment below.
Don't downvote.
Well, if you're watching live, you can chat, and then if you're watching it back, you can comment.
Just make sure you're on Twitch, because otherwise you won't probably see it. I watch.
No. Well, currently, if we're live, you can talk on YouTube and somewhere else because you're in a community. Just don't type it away. That's fine. But afterwards, when you watch it back, leave comments, like it, share it. Yeah, that's great. It does things for algorithms. I've learned.
So basically, take everything you wrote on the Twitch chat and copy and paste it.
Yeah, just put random, just be like comments like, "Oh, like Space Marines."
Great video. Great video. Like Steam
More
reviews.
of that, please.
Yeah.
And then Dino says, "Good to see you guys are back on the job. Thank you very much, you wonderful man."
Yeah. Good to be back.
It's great to be back. Obviously, this show's been brought to you by everyone on Patreon and Twitch, so massive thank you. You guys obviously should be aware that you've kicked the awesome honestwargamer.com off. So that's gone That's gone really well. I've had the workbook, Tom's had over 4,000 downloads.
Nice.
Now, some people don't think that that's... I wrote that multi-system. So if you're a 40k player and you don't know what I'm talking about, go on honestwargamer.com and download the workbook, and you should be able to read through it and use it, even if you're a 40k dude. It's not just an Age of Sigmar thing, I think.
We're all friends here.
We're all friends here. I like 40k. And I especially like 40k. Now, Chapter Approved's almost out.
Dropped.
Soon to be out. I wonder what's inside.
No one knows. This is what happens when you give it to everyone, I guess.
Pardon me?
Keep doing it.
Yeah. Keep giving it out to everyone so we can get it early. That's great.
Yeah. Oh, that looks tasty.
And I don't need to buy it because I just get all the screenshots.
Yes. We will actually be talking about the missions earlier because I saw them. I saw them on a Facebook post earlier. I have photographic memory, so I can't now forget what I saw, and so I think that's okay to talk
And you
about.
told us what you saw as well.
And you can't forget what you heard.
Yeah, we've remembered exactly it.
So we're going to talk it through if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the subjects for today are Tom's experience at the GT Heat 3. GT Heat 3.
The YouTuber.
One day we're going to make you say 3 as well.
They were all the YouTubers.
What, they were all the YouTubers?
All of the
you
YouTubers.
were there?
Yes, and then you had...
Are you one of the YouTubers?
No, but...
Do you hate that? If someone was to accuse you of being a YouTuber, would you go, fuck you?
I think I played 3 YouTubers and Scott, who's not a YouTuber, but he won Heat 1, so...
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't play any of the Hellstorm guys, and they were all there. So,
all of them there?
Apart from Dan. Oh. I say I mean Elliot and Mikey.
Were they there?
Yeah,
they were there. They're YouTubers. They got a website.
Poor Elliot had to play Scott first round.
Hellstorm.com.
Oh dear.
That's the website.
He got creamed.
Is it called that? Hellstormwargaming.com.
Just Google it and I'm sure you'll find it.
Yeah. Fans of the show, friends of the show, compatriots, brothers in arms. You could say that they're just from a different chapter to us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The slower chapter.
What do you mean slower?
They have to put out...
Are you insinuating physically?
When they get a green screen, they have to send out the clips of them on the green screen to their fans to do things with, whereas we just use ours like Chad's.
We're just superheroes. Yeah, that's the plan. So I hope you guys have noticed the sound should be better. So the sound should be loads better now as well for the podcast. So I'm hoping you guys are appreciating that. Talk about podcasts before we talk about. So we're talking about GT Heat Review. We're going to talk about the chapter approved missions, and then we're going to talk about League of Knights. Is that okay with you guys? I'm also going to ask you guys. I'm going to ask you guys about some stuff. But first, I'm going to say, Tom, congratulations on doing your first solo interview for the show.
Thank you. I've got another one lined up already.
So, what was your experience of interviewing someone solo?
It was kind of interesting to learn how to actually do it properly. Like I listened back to when I was editing, and I was thinking,
fancy teaching me.
Well, I know you edit. You're better than me, but it's just so when I was editing it back, it was mainly just being open-minded and trying to think about what I could do better for the next one, right? Because I don't think I did a perfect job, obviously, but I think I did okay. But there's things I can definitely do better. So it's a case of just improving that over time. I've got another interview, but I've actually been talking to the guy today about doing the next one, so that should be pretty good.
It's a guy.
It is.
That's a shock.
It is. So it narrows down the pool. That narrows down the pool.
It really narrows down. Yeah. I think I know who it is. I've cracked it.
I might know.
SG Skeleton says, "Hi guys, unfortunately I can't stay long. Just want to say the sound's been bang on, and we'll be uploading.
There you go.
We will be uploading it tonight. Just he just wants to listen at work tomorrow, so I promise we'll do that. Groovy Greg also just downloaded the workbook.
That's 4001.
Yeah, and John says, I miss Nikos's tasteful green face.
Well, there's a little bit of green face on the picture, isn't there?
So, yeah, there is.
Have we actually got the pictures down?
Yeah, you've got the pictures now. Yours, Tom, is if you're looking, well, you've gone too far. It's where your armpit is currently, Tom.
Here.
Just nailed it.
Where's mine? Is mine in my outfit as well?
No, yours. Yeah.
It's just sprouting out like a fungus.
But what's nice is because you've actually worn the blue like yours. Tom, you need to get some sort of tasteful pink dress.
I mean, I have more pink clothes than you would know about,
or think that you would have. Okay, I don't need to know about your.
Are they in a self-storage unit that you only go to secretly?
No, they're in my wardrobe in my room, and I see them every day.
All right. So before we get onto it, you guys obviously, and apologies to everyone last week for us not being live. I obviously was in hospital with gammy leg.
Nurgle's rot.
It was effectively like the worst that 40k was getting while waiting for Chapter Approved to come out. The worst my leg was getting, but now Chapter Approved is out. I feel like
it's exploded into full blown like
I feel like they could take me and turn me into a Primaris Marine because it's probably the only. That's why I'm wearing blue. I'm like, what's the point in doing anything else?
So you can get those rerolls to hit into wound. Yeah, that's how it works.
So, have you guys done any 40k, ignoring the heat, Tom? Have you done any 40k heat since we last all spoke? Or have you done anything? What have you been up to? Because I'm excited to hear about it.
I am sick of looking at terrain, because that's all I've been doing the last couple of weeks. I've been finishing off the terrain.
You've been the hero.
Yeah, so I've done, single-handedly, I've done 10 tables worth of terrain. And it's been a bit of a fucking night. Well, it's been enjoyable, but to the last...
Did I say I was in hospital? Because I would have helped. I just want to really reiterate. Tom, what were you doing?
I've been doing parents' evenings.
Oh, okay,
fair enough. So like the first 80%
children
was enjoyable, but the last 20% was just a grind, and I was just like sick of it. But I've only got I've got one little task to do. I've got some tufts to put on the last set.
Yeah,
that's all I need to do, and then it's all done.
Well done.
They look, by the way, phenomenal. Me and Nathan played a game with them on Tuesday. And they're just brilliant. Like they're exactly what you want. They're just four. I mean, we use 5 or 6 just lumps of something, and it looks great. Works really well. Just really, really useful.
I'm glad.
Yeah, excellent. So I'm super excited to see the tables for the League of Knights. See some Imperial Knights wading through like velociraptors through the long grass,
stalking in the bush.
Yeah. I'm always stalking bush. That's just who I am.
Yeah, I'm quite glad that the stuff I've done is out of the way, because that's all it's all the little scatter pieces and all the big blocks of line of sight blocking terrain. Whereas when or if we start to do other types of tournaments like standard 40k ones or AOS ones, the only bit of expansion we need to do is flat area terrain. But that should be easy to do and really easy to store. So the hard work for the terrain's done.
I think realistic. I think it's fairly obvious. You guys would have to be a bit slow to realise that clearly that our plan is to start doing quite a lot of tournaments quite often. Or even like if you guys go back and listen to the show I did on Monday about Age Sigmar, I don't know, something about showers. I keep having these brainwaves in showers, and I think there's some sort of psychological research on it.
So the idea is have more showers, gamers.
Yes. I mean, that's just standard advice. But yeah, there's loads of things we can do, especially now we've got like several boards worth of terrain. We've got several boards. We just had the delivery of
many tables.
So we're able to just set up. We can set up a tournament in a day, effectively now, just in the studio, and that's for 20 or so people, and that's not nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like with Chapter Approved out, we could just be like, do you know what? Next weekend, we're not going to, by the way, but we could be like, next weekend, chapter approved day. You all come along. We just play the new missions, and we're just practicing and training. And we don't even have to charge, if you know what I mean. Right? We can just achieve it now.
Yeah.
So I think so. Big kudos to Nikos for being able to achieve
100%.
that. So the OS Wargaming now is more capable thanks to Nikos's hard work. So you're an angel.
Pleasure. It was mostly fun.
80% a pleasure.
Yeah.
20% graft.
The factories were fun to do because they were the last thing I did. So they were just I think it's a nail holder from B&Q that I got in a clearance sale from B&Q, and I just thought that looks like a factory, and it had a removable thing. So I just stuck it on it flat on the base, put some pipes, and I put some squirty inflatable foam that just dripped out of the pipe, and it looks like smog coming out of the pipes. And then the removable bit I sprayed separately, and this was your idea. Sprayed it white. And I bought some tea lights today on eBay that will just go in there. So when it's on the table, it will be glowing and stuff like that. And excitingly, the tea lights I bought are you can change the colour on them. So you can have them red or
blue
green.
Blue teams turn, red teams turn.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
actually incredibly
You could
smart.
even put a motor on one side, so it rotates it.
Wait, actually,
What rotates the
Nikos,
what?
we need to
It's a big
talk.
cylindrical thing.
Oh, that wouldn't happen because when I sprayed it and because it was tension fit, it scraped some of the paint, so it has to be in one position really.
So have you seen that guy with the neophyte acolyte who's got a laser pen coming out of his gun?
Yeah, that is cool, but
A lot of effort for minimal effect.
yeah, and could be dangerous.
Yes.
If someone's like, I'm just going to check line of sight.
Groovy Greg says, got my League of Night tickets, super excited much. I hope you should. It's going to be a wicked day. Nogly Guy says, go to McDonald's and raid it for trays for moving armies around.
Yeah, we do this.
Yeah. We will not be doing that.
We won't.
Because this is public.
I already have lots of trays. They're not mine, but I know of people who do.
I feel like this is very much a Scottish agency, not a Scottish Warhammer thing. Just everyone in Scotland's like, oh, look at these movement trays. Excuse me, sir, they're for the restaurant. What?
I've already ordered.
I'm talking about someone Scottish, there's flukes a lot. And then Lutheran Rock says, hype for an episode with my elder guru / the Scutari Alpha on Twitter.
Oh, nice, cool, yeah.
Yeah, so he's super excited about
Good
that.
dude, yeah.
And also, DeBolt has subscribed for 12 months in a row. Well done. And then that ugly guy says, I also qualified and I'll see you all at the finals.
Whoop, whoop.
Oh,
Did I qualify? I think I qualified.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
Didn't I?
Heat 1 you went to, right?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Don't remember. What's the last one I went to?
Heat 1.
2.
The one with all the Harlequins.
Oh,
Yeah, Harlequins.
You went to the one with the Helverins. And you
Oh,
went
the
to one-
Helverins.
And then you went to one with the Harlequins.
Yeah, the Harlequins was the most fun.
But did you qualify?
Not. I think so. I can't remember. I went 3.
Well, I've got 2 qualifications, so you can have one of mine.
It's fine. If I ever
spoiled
actually wanted to do it,
I've spoiled it. Oh no.
Yeah. So let's just go. Great segue, Tom. Well done.
Oh, okay. That wasn't even
Segue straight in. So you did do some Warhammering this week.
I did. So my intention was I was running something that wasn't Yunari because I thought that would be unreasonable to take to a heat from which I've already qualified. So I put out a question to you guys on the stream team. We had Imperium floating around and we had Orcs floating around. And in the end, I ended up running your Orc army. People were recognizing it. So my objective was...
Which, FYI, we changed 0 from when I originally ran it.
Correct.
I think we took a few less guns.
Yeah.
But effectively 0 change.
Pretty much.
Which is, by the way, I think a testament to like just reading the index and being like, these are the only good things. Let's move forward.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So that was fine. So my objective was to finish all my games at the GT Heat with no practice on Orcs since 5th edition.
Correct.
And to have a great time. That was my aim. And I said I did it.
There you go. That was your aim.
That was my objective.
It's very important to define your aim before you go somewhere.
That was my objective.
All right, nice.
So to do this, I went to a one-dayer at the Outpost in Sheffield.
Nice.
To have a bit of a practice. So I played a very heavy aggressor army with a Leviathan because, of course, it's Hellstorm Wargaming territory. Of course I have Leviathans.
Yeah.
He got first turn. He jumped out of all his aggressors. He ran 2 inches, blocked off all his other aggressors so no one was in range, and my Orcs charged him and he died.
Oh.
I then played Space Wolves and Guard, and he also had a Leviathan, and I ran on my Orcs at him and he died. And then still got one more going.
What I feel really sorry for is that guy. He sat at home like, oh, he's mentioned me. I wonder what he thought of the game. I ran at him and he died.
Rick.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
Rick. So Rick's a good dude. That's the only game Rick has lost with his Wolfen list. So he's played like 20 odd games. That was the only game he's lost because I ran at him with Orcs and he died. So I was running 90 boys, 2 big mechs with custom force fields, 11 mech guns with the custom mega cannons, 2 weird boys, and a Waz-Bomb blaster jet.
Most cool as
Got some stories from that thing.
So, can I just say hello to everyone in the chat?
Yeah, of course.
Serbator saying hi. Evening, Chris. Me and Chris, by the way, and we're going to do this probably as a 40k thing. We're doing a 6-month army committal as soon as January lands. Because obviously Chapter Approved's out now, and we are not going to touch on it, but I don't think Chapter Approved really helped my Harlequins out.
No.
In any way, shape or form.
Not at all.
I mean, there's been a points reduction.
It made you worse.
One
with the missions, it made you worse.
Pardon me?
With the missions, it made you worse.
Wow.
Well, yes. It's all round. But Chris is also just enjoying his Space Wolves, trying not to buy Thousand Suns. I'm proud of him. And then Innis, I think this is IA Wilson. I'm almost certain.
Oh, yeah, that's Innis.
Says finishing games with Orcs, blasphemy.
He's also Judgment, I think. I don't know.
Okay, but Wilson says finishing games with Orcs, blasphemy.
I know,
yeah, and then John says no slagging off Orcs. I finished my games.
Yeah.
And then Nogly Guy says my aim was not to come bottom 10 and win a game. How overjoyed I was. All the cry faces. Yeah. And even Daisy Duke. Hi Ace Face. I'll still take Skyweaver jet bike, says Matt Lloyd. Matt, we're gonna have to talk, you and me.
Are they the things with the 3-up invulnerable save with all the haywire?
No, they're 4-up invulnerable save.
They can get a 3-up, can't they?
So they're still good. I actually think they're okay as allies.
Yeah. So You can bring the bikes in, but as an army, it sucks balls.
Yeah. And then I played Mikey Herbert final round.
Oh right, so this is one day.
This one day that I was practicing with. So
was there another Leviathan in that list?
There was no Leviathan. He was playing Eldar.
Wait, but he's the guy who talks about the Leviathan.
But now he plays Eldar.
Now he plays Eldar.
So it's very similar to my list.
What's that thing? What's that thing when you? I don't know how really to describe it. It's like when you're trying seriously. No, you're attempting something hardly. I can't. What's the? When you just really want to...
I don't know if you're being serious.
Maximum effort.
Yeah, when you're maximum
full
efforting.
Gusto.
Yeah, I think is he maximum efforting
both
40k?
Barrels, giving it both barrels.
Yeah, 2 guns.
I mean, I'll tell you how the game went when you can make your own decision. So he was playing Eldar. It's very similar to my list, except he has more Guardians and fewer Reapers.
Yeah.
So I think I get first turn. I immediately jump a bunch of boys across because he's wrapped with his Rangers, which was a bit of a oopsie. So I charge one squad of Rangers and pile into another one. I do the Brown Town. Yeah. So I basically can't shoot at that squad of boys because I'm in combat. And then he drops some Guardians down to shoot at some other boys. I'm going to do it again. So I lock another unit. And he can't shoot.
Nice.
I won one day
never played.
with the army I'd never played.
With a list you hadn't really written.
I didn't write it at all, let's be honest. You wrote the list, you lent me the models. I didn't have the codex. I
didn't even have the codex?
No. So I turned up at a one-dayer. I then turned up at the heat.
So this is a one-day event before the GT heat.
So it was a final of the Outpost League. So I was pretty, using the Outpost as a league in Sheffield where people just turn up with hard nails armies in practice. So I thought, you know what, I'll run it. And then we had a tournament at the end to finish it off with seeding based on how we did in the league. And won that one. I then go to Heat 3. I meet up with Carl and trade him a Loyal 32 Guard Battalion and an Astra Militarum book for an Orc Codex.
Nice.
For a weekend.
Oh,
nice.
Good deal. Good deal.
So now you have your Orc Codex in hand and now you know what to do with your army.
And I've got it out and everyone's going past taking pictures of this absurd looking army.
How dare you, sir?
It's got 11 mech guns in it. Who buys 11 mech guns?
I have 25.
I know you do.
What's really upsetting...
You didn't buy them though, did you?
What? I bought half of them, I think.
Oh,
the other half I got given,
That's not bad. But yeah. So,
I worked for it. I worked for 24 hours.
And you got the mech guns.
Time.
Yeah.
But it is a unique army. I doubt anyone will see that army.
Well, this is the thing. I was playing at the heats, and people said, and people walking past it said, "Don't put me in the best painted." I didn't paint it, and he was like, "Yeah, no, it's Rob's army." I was like, "Yeah."
Also, don't put it in for best painted. It's fucking terrible.
That was a very polite reaction. Oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, don't.
I know you
it's
didn't.
not much.
Don't worry.
I didn't paint it. Give me sports scores, please. So I was playing round 1 against player number 1, who is James from Tabletop Tactics.
Oh, lovely man.
Yeah, he was a really good dude.
Lovely
really,
man.
really, really good man. He had a hard time this weekend, but he was a really good guy.
Yeah.
So
What was he playing with?
Predators and Crimson Fists.
Wow.
So he had Pedro Cantor in there. He had 3 Razorbacks. He had 3 Predators. He had a bunch of tactical marines with lath cannons and stuff. So I ran my orcs at him.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge him. And Pedro Canto lasted 3 rounds in close combat of orcs double fighting him.
Nice.
So that was all right.
That's great.
He also had a squad of 6 Thunderhammer Stormshield Terminators.
Fuck yes.
And a chaplain.
The big boys. That's what I call that unit.
He drops
the big boys are here.
So right, I've come across. I've hit everything. I've got a unit of boys in combat with Pedro, and he's the only thing stopping him from going on and charging all the predators.
Yeah.
He's now dropped all of these Terminators in my back line, but right next to my mech guns. He then fails the 9-inch charge. I then to jump 30 boys across. I then unstoppable green tide 30 more boys across, and 60 screaming green dudes beat the crap out of all of these Terminators.
Wow.
As is tradition.
As is tradition.
Yeah.
So I fly 2/3 of my boys across the board.
They can't handle that many attacks, they can't.
No, they can't, and I'm super fast because I can actually take 2 of my units, remove them from the board, and place them wherever I want.
How low was the unit that you green tied?
It wasn't that low, but it was underneath half strength, so I can't do it. But you know, he shot it a bit, so it's like whee, straight across and charging Terminators.
What were his predators loaded with?
Las cannons.
They were all las
cannons.
Wow.
And his Razorbacks had the assault cannons, which means they're okay for they're not bad, but they're short ranged.
I can ask this every single time.
Yeah.
Number one, what did the Wazbomb do in that game?
The Wazbomb died first turn.
First round of shooting.
Oh no, it came up. He shot something and then it died instantly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. So did he target the Wazbomb first?
Yeah, because the last cannons weren't in range of really anything else.
Nice.
So,
how did the Met Guns do that game?
They killed all the Razorbacks.
As they should.
As they should.
Yeah, as they should.
They very much killed all the Razorbacks.
I'm going to ask you at the end. I'm just super excited to hear about this entire report. But out there smashing.
You can see the turn 4 because I was about to tie up all of his predators and then I was going to take all the points because it was progressive. So round 2 I play against player number 2. So he actually had the number 2 as well. Wow. So I played number 1 and number 2. Who was Stig from Tabletop Tactics.
Oh my God.
I know. Yeah.
This is the celebrity showdown.
I know. I told you it was YouTube Central.
Wow, okay.
Right.
By the way...
How come they didn't put you on the telly then?
We were right next to the telly.
Yeah. Also, and this is really important, if anyone out there listening, obviously you're listening to this podcast and we're on YouTube right now, all people who make YouTube content are bumheads. That's what I'm going to say. Us included. Yeah. So when we say us, maybe chiefly. Yeah. So when we say there was a load of YouTubers, what we effectively mean is a bunch of tosspots. Yeah. Of which chief amongst the tosspots.
We are the
although a third tosspot is here, Mr. Fourth Aceface is in the chat. So
yeah.
Aceface was at the event.
He was at the event.
Yeah. So that was another YouTuber at the event. There you go. So that's actually a good segue into the table on the stream. Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys watched any of the stream, but they were playing with the Marble Palace board.
I did. I have seen this board at Warhammer World, and I did see. So Chris Serbator was wonderful. He went around at one point. He was there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
And he was just. He wasn't. He
was just camped on my table.
I was excited. Yeah. He was just taking photos, and he was like, "Look what's happening!" And I was like, "Oh my God, take more photos!" It was great fun.
Because you dispatched him to my table.
Yeah, I'm just sat there with my leg up, being like, "I can never walk again."
And I'm here just pacing up and down the table, making it look worse.
So he sent me pictures, obviously, of the tables, and then I'd seen the stream. So from my perspective, it looked like the disparity between all the tables that people were playing on around the tournament were vastly different to the singular table that they had on the stream.
I mean, they still had a little bit of line of sight blocking on the other tables, especially when you got towards table 1 through 5. You had big line of sight blockers on those tables. But that's a City of Death board. It's not the same as... So they released an entire expansion called Cities of Death back in like 2010, knowing that it was an entirely different game. And it was like skirmishes in city fighting. Because it was just dense. And it wasn't like... For example, if I played it in round 5, it probably would have been better for me.
Yeah.
But I've got to wiggle my spaghetti noodles through all the terrain to try and move about 160
really
orc models.
To play on.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was like that type of board where there was no real flat ground, so your models are always going to be wobbling and falling over.
And also when you're measuring, it's so hard to measure over the terrain. So it's going to look from the camera like you're sneaking extra inches or you're cheating.
Yeah.
Which wasn't great for me.
Yeah, so you weren't keen to play on the top table.
I wasn't
basically,
keen,
is what you're saying.
I didn't think I could actually finish a game on it.
Yeah,
which is the main thing.
Because so the board actually that they were streaming, in your opinion and my opinion as an external viewer, was that it was detrimental to the experience of everyone else who was playing.
Well, it probably wasn't ideal for competitive play.
Yeah, that's my experience. Yeah, that's what I would. Obviously, that's now if someone has played on that board and disagrees and is listening, then fine. But I would say the fact that it was so majorly different to the main tables.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing on it for like a stream battle report game, just casual, that's fine. But if you're broadcasting, it's like, oh, this is the final. Like, Val was mentioning when Lawrence was on last round, it's like, oh, it's a really competitive game. They're playing for the win. It's like, well, you can't really put a game where they're playing for the win on the tournament on that board. You can't,
because you're playing it to a different set of standards than everyone else is playing.
Because I could, if I'd said yes, I can play on that board. Me and my opponent could have had a disagreement because that board would have heavily benefited me.
Yeah.
Whereas, whatever.
But an interesting point, anyway.
Yeah, anyway, that was kind of the side.
Hold on, I just want to say, Unicorn John says poo tuber more like. Brilliant. Also, the Nurgly guy is talking about how we played, and he said I wasn't too bad to play, which was lovely.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, Nargsmith's just donated 200 bits, so massive thank you. Also, Ghost Valley has subscribed for 6 months in a row. And Innes says, maybe that's why everybody seems to play Slope Warhammer World, can't balance models on a roll battle board. And
actually, they are so slippery.
Oh man, it's so annoying.
Please continue. I'll just be quiet over
here. Stuff Warhammer board.
I have blue tack in my dice box
for playing Warhammer
for that purpose.
Yeah,
I have lube in my dice box for making people's models slip down and accuse them of nudging.
You just grease it up.
Grease up that board. So it works.
I also don't think that they could have put Tom on the stream, because last time we went on the stream, a certain commentator lost their job.
You are always more savage than it seems like you're going to be. I always think, but then I forget that you've got such a dark joke hidden inside you all the time.
Don't
I was like, Nicholas is such a nice guy. I kind of feel sorry he has to talk to you and Tom all the time. But I go, just wait, and there we go.
He'll just drop occasional bangers where
Wow. There we
it's
go.
A conspiracy theory that I've got.
Well,
Illuminati confirmed.
There's correlation.
There is a
correlation equals causation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're a monster. And don't forget, also punches kids.
Allegedly.
So your second game you played against?
Stig from Tabletop Tactics.
And he had
Admech.
Yes.
With a big knight.
Which I'm proud of him for, because I love him. Number one, because he's a great dude.
He was a good dude.
He's a great dude, and also he's playing Admech. And the Tabletop Tactics guys know. He knows that they're shit. Like, he's not turned up and gone, I'm going to smash this tournament. Yeah, he's gone. These suck.
It's a metal-breaking army.
He did good. Like, so he had he had two of the Dune Crawler things. One of like 4 with the las cannons, and one of 4 with the stabbies.
Yeah. And
then he had a knight which had Endless Fury on it, so the extra 6s cause extra shots.
Yeah.
So it had a Gatling cannon, battle cannon, Iron Storm, rocket pod, and it had the 4+ invulnerable save. So it was meant to be a 3+.
House was it?
Tyrannus.
Okay.
Then he had 2 Helverins. I know.
Don't get me started.
2 of those.
Good.
And then he had a bunch of Rangers. He had some other. That was pretty much it, actually. So he gets first turn. It's Pointy Dawn of War deployment, and he charges me with all the because he's using Stygies.
Yeah.
So,
the Sindonian Dragoons.
Yeah, the Dragoons, and he charges a bunch of Orcs, and then he charges some Met guns, and then my Orcs hit in a bit, and then I'm like, maybe if I fight again and I smite him, I can just kill them, so I don't have to retreat my Met gun, so they can just fire. So I fight him again. I'm going to smite him, and all the Dragoons just die.
Yeah.
And then he's killed a lot of boys. He's actually killed a lot.
Yeah,
he's done a lot of shooting.
They'll go through boys, I imagine, like pretty sharpish.
It was more the knight. But I did a lot, and he killed like 2 Met guns as well, and it was all right. So I jump across, I try and lock down. I'm basically trying to get as many points as I can. So it was Ascension, so 3 objectives, 1 in kind of 1 in the middle, 2 on the sides, and then I lock down 1 unit of boys upon some Dragoons, some Rangers.
Yeah.
He brings the knight over, kicks the boys apart. I leave a Helverin on that side on 1 wound, and then there's the Helverin on the other side which I shoot to death. He's still shooting las cannons at me, so I'm losing Met guns very, very fast, but I'm also racking up points. So now we get to a point where, like, turn 3, 4, it's pretty clear I'm going to win on points. So at the end of turn 5, I have 13 points to his 2, but I've lost pretty much all my boys, because he's actually going through the boys at a pretty good rate.
Wow.
So I have 2 Met guns left, 2 boys left, all the characters. We roll, the game ends. We played it on. He wouldn't have tabled me turn 6, but he would have tabled me turn 7.
Oh.
So if it had gone all the way, he would have won the game. But
and that's a really hard army to table.
Yeah.
Like that, like the Orc army is tough to. So the Ballistari, because obviously they've got that strat that's just one command point, but it's +2 to hit.
Yeah,
which is amazing, right?
Well, and I used the Unstoppable Green Tide to get behind him and try and charge all of his dragoons on the backside, and I didn't actually kill any.
Oh, that's annoying.
Which was annoying, and when he turned around, he just, you know, it was like, fine, whatever. I can't argue with that, right? It's a dice game.
Yeah, so exactly, yeah.
It was fine.
But good game all over.
Yeah, really good game. He was a good dude. So I got past Stig.
I also think
what happened to the
dragoons, by the way,
in that game? Wasbomb.
I died fast.
Yeah, first turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's his job. Like everyone in the, like you and me were talking on WhatsApp, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's just like I was like, did people kill the Wasbombs? Like, yeah, every time.
Yeah,
I was just
pretty
like,
much.
Perfect, because as soon as they realise that they should have shot the Met guns, they're a turn behind, like, which is key. I mean, sometimes you can kill him with just 2 las guns, right? But las cannons, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So round.
Oh, by the way, sorry, was he using, you know, the Ballistari? Was he using the Cognis las cannons, or was he using the auto cannons?
Las cannons.
Yeah, I think that's way better.
Yeah.
I don't know why you did the auto cannons.
So round 3, I'm playing against my practice partner and the guy who won Heat 1 in Scott Nichols, and he's running the same army that he ran at Heat 1 because he's an absolute tryhard.
Right.
So he had 2 squads of 9 plague drones, 2 squads of plague bearers, one of 29, one of 30, and a squad of nurglings.
Yeah.
And all the characters, and 2 demon princes.
Okay.
So he has a really hard to shift army. So we get pointed dawn of war again. He deploys on one side, I deploy on that. I've kind of also got my Met guns kind of on the side, and he wins a roll off to go first, but then I seize on him.
What was the mission?
I don't remember. We just killed each other.
Typical 40k game.
Welcome to old 40k.
Welcome to my style of 40k. That's why Chapter Approved is going to screw me. So I took my Met guns and I fired at all of one squad of plague drones. But Wasbomb went up and shot some other plague drones. Didn't do anything. In fact, no, it did. It killed one, but he got it back on morale.
Oh, right.
Yeah, which was because he rolls 2d6 for his morale. If he rolls a 1, he gets a model back, or d6 models if it's plague bearers. And then I shot all the rest of the Met guns.
It was 18 plague drones, just said.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He shot all the plague drones into all my Met guns into another squad of plague drones. Took out like 5. But he got one back again. He then spent his turn walking into me, and I'm like, right, I've got to pull the trigger now, because otherwise he's just going to walk into me and get the charge, and then I can't really do anything, right? So I pull the trigger, I charge all my boys in, I teleport one squad of boys around the back, but they failed the charge, unfortunately, so I've only got 60 boys hitting, and they get to fight twice, one of which is -1 toughness. So I fight with them, then fight with them again, and then fight with the other squad. So I kill a bunch of plague bearers, I take them down to about 15.
Is the orc fight twice immediately?
It's so you use it when you get to declare another attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I've got 2 units that have charged, I can just say, right, I've charged, I get to pick this unit to fight. Okay, I get to pick again because I've got another unit with charge, I'll just pick this same unit again.
Okay.
So it works quite well. So I do that, I kill a bunch of them, I kill a bunch of plague drones on one side, so I finish the squad that I just shot loads at, and then I shoot the other squad a bit, and then he rolls all his morales and he gets 1s on all of them.
Oh.
So he gets a bunch back.
Yeah, because if you roll 1s on morale on those Nurgle units, and they generate models back into the unit instead of running
He's
away.
rolling 2d6 though because he's got a character and picking the lowest. So it's not the end of the world, but it's 1 in 3 and he does on all of them. Just like, that sucks. So he kills a bunch of boys, and then I just fight back again.
Because they would have ran, right?
They would have pretty much all run. They'd have all gone, yeah. So he hits me again. So he hits me, I then go, right, I go again. I take him down to like 5 or 10. And then they both pass morales again and get guys back. And I'm like, motherfucker. Because I need to kill those so I can get to his characters. Eventually what ends up happening is he fails one. And then he fails another one. Like, he's lost all his plague drones. The plague drones didn't do anything apart from... I was trying to bait him around with the Wasbomb. And I got a Demon Prince to charge the Wasbomb. But that's pretty much it. I think. But I can't... The Wasbomb didn't really do anything of note this game. But eventually I break him, so I've killed all the plague bearers, I've killed all the drones, and now I've just got boys that I do a really late Unstoppable Green Tide. So I drop round the back. Oh, it's the objective with 2 in the centre, and then 1 in each of your, and then a home and away objective. So if the away one's worth 4, the home one's worth 1, and there's 2 in the centre worth 2. And I do a really late Unstoppable Green Tide. Oh no, I don't. I pass the morale on the 1 remaining unit of big boys. I then pass a psychic test to jump, and then I pass the 8-inch charge into all his characters.
Yeah.
So I kill all his characters off the objective, and he's got no way to kill 30 boys because he's got like 1 Demon Prince left. So he can't kill that many boys. So at that point, he just concedes and we go get a beer.
Nice.
So that was all right.
So Saturday you're smashing face.
Saturday went pretty well.
All right, good. That's a big positive.
Yeah. So round 4 I was playing Mick Miller and his Harlequins, which was interesting. Yeah, so we had Harlequins and Eldar, so we had lots of Dire Avengers.
Yeah.
So he comes forward. He shoots.
Wait, who were you playing with? Who went 3 wins with Harlequins?
Mick Miller.
And
I also discovered he is Welsh.
Oh, number one, I am so excited about that. Yeah.
So he has 6 of the Skyweaver jet bikes. He has 3 of those transports that look like Venoms.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're called. He had troops in them.
Skyweavers.
Yeah. 3 units of 5 troops. Mm-hmm. Then he had a Shadow Weaver, which had like the -1 to wound or something. And then he had a Troop Master, a Wave Serpent, a squad of 8 Dire Avengers, 2 squads of 5 Dire Avengers, and a Faster on a bike, and a Warlock on a bike, I think. So it was all right. He came forward.
Seemed like a lot.
It didn't seem like a lot. So he came into the middle of the board, shot me with all of his stuff because he got first turn, and he killed 25 boys. The boys then passed on morale. I unstoppable green-tided him. I got my WAS bomb into his back line.
By the way, Mick Miller is here.
I like Mick. He's a good dude.
Yeah. I like Mick.
I do like Mick. Yeah.
Wait, were you about to tell me the WAS bomb did something?
The WAS bomb did something.
Tell me.
The only game the WAS bomb did something.
It's not if he dies, if the first thing that happens is someone lines up a bunch of las cannons and shoots him, he's done exactly why he's there.
No.
Anything beyond that,
the WAS bomb lived.
Okay.
The WAS bomb flew across the board.
Yeah.
I tied a traitors back behind, so I had 30 boys appear behind his Death Jester,
and
a plane going over
the top. It's called to jump, not tied traitors.
No, I unstoppable green-tided.
Oh, okay.
He killed 25.
Oh, okay.
So I took the 5.
Know the name.
Hashtag, well, don't make me hashtag make you know something in a minute, but carry on.
So I unstoppable green-tided behind his Death Jester. Right, I'm going to charge him and punch him in the head. But I thought, now I've got a plane here, and so now I've got insurance, because his Death Jester could pick out characters.
Yeah.
So he did like 2 or 3 wins to a mech gun.
Yeah.
Not a mech gun, the big mech inside all the mech guns.
And it's super important, by the way, that you keep them alive, right?
Yeah,
so 5 invulnerable saves, incredible.
Yeah. He also killed a couple of the Skyweavers, and I thought, right, the Skyweaver. And I said, mate, what's the invulnerable save on the transports? Oh, 4+. All right. What's the invulnerable save on the Skyweavers? 3+. Ah. I don't really want to shoot at that. So I go for his transports. I pop 2 transports with the mech guns. I ignore the Skyweavers. I'm like, right, he's going to kill some more mech guns. Whatever, I'll just come and club him in a second because he can't clear the horde with them, right? So he does that. I then shoot up into both his transports. All the troops come out. One of them explodes over all of his units. So they all take a wound, which was unfortunate. And then I charge him with 60 boys. The reason I charged him with 60 boys rather than 90 is because the 30 that came behind his Death Jester, the WAS bomb beamed him into space before they could get the charge.
With the teleporter mega blasters.
Teleporting mega blasters.
How much fun are they?
They're all right. It's more fun saying, right, mate. Do you know what this does? This is my WAS bomb.
Yeah, it's way more fun.
And it has teleporting mega blasters.
It's great saying the whole thing. And when you do, because then people did anyone deploy or move differently because of its existence?
No. Well, Scott put like a line of plague bearers behind his characters. That was pretty much it. There was nothing different. You just wrapped characters anyway. So he beamed him into space. I then charge all of his stuff, and I get like 8 or 9 kill points in Dominate and Destroy with like 60 orcs attacking. And at that point, we're just like, call it and we'll go and get a drink. And we went and sat in Bugman's bar and had a nice time. So it's just a hard match for him because he's so short ranged. He comes into me, he blows his load, and then all the orcs go wah and jump out and punch him. Because you can't clear that many orcs.
No, it's very tough.
Yeah.
And then if you can't clear the orcs, you definitely can't clear the mech guns, right?
Yeah. Well, he was having a good go at the mech guns, but like, because they've got the vehicle keyword, right? So the Skyweavers can come over and, or whatever they're called, come over and do their thing into them, which is fine, but it was just, it is what it is. Like, you can't, they're not that good at clearing hordes, I don't think, Harlequins.
No, not at all.
So
they don't have the
not the Death Jester, the Solitaire's okay, isn't he? With the suit of hidden knives.
Yes,
but that takes a lot. That's a one-mo combo, isn't it?
Yes, it is a one-mo combo, and it does require like a lot of setup. And you do have to have like it has to be something like orcs that have a weight of attacks that you can. Yeah,
this is the thing. So I was talking about this. I asked him if he had the thing that made me hit myself, and he was like, "No, I don't have that." I'm like, "Fine, I'll just charge you then." It's like it is. It's like it's not even an interactive game. I'm just like, here's orcs. You come and shoot me. I run into you, and then I fight you and you die.
Well, so you didn't feel like the army you were playing was very interactive?
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it created some very close games. I just thought that game in particular was really harsh on Mick because it didn't feel like either of us were really playing an interactive matchup.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because I just walk into the middle of the board and go, huh, and I've got.
I think the fact that Mick went on. He by the way, he went on to win 4.
I know, yeah.
I think the fact that he did is just fantastic.
Yeah, he did really well.
And I know it's mixed Eldar.
But Dire Avengers. Right?
It's okay to spit when you say mixed Eldar, right?
I'm an Eldar player.
Yeah, that's fine. But
just any Eldar.
Well, I mean, any is.
Harlequins.
Yeah.
Technically Eldar.
Yeah, technically, but much cooler.
It's much weaker as well.
Yeah, also much weaker, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So 4 wins, doing great.
4 wins, so I'm playing again.
Codex in hand.
Yeah.
I think you printed out.
No.
Okay.
So I'm on table 1 playing against Dan Cook.
Okay.
And he's playing Eldar. And I'm like, oh yes, Eldar, lovely. I like playing Eldar because I know what they do. And then he handed me his list and he's got 3 squads of scatter bikes. I'm like, oh shit.
Would you want to explain to people what scatter bikes are?
They are bikes with scatter lasers.
Okay.
So they have got 4 shots each. They're sign hands, so they don't take a -1 to hit when they're moving, and they're re-rolling 1s to hit because they've got an autark. So 3 units of 5, 1 autark. Lots of shots, so 60 shots re-rolling 1s to hit, and then wounding on 3s. Nasty. He's then got 3 squads of Dark Reapers with Tempest launchers, more hit, horde clear, hooray, in a Wave Serpent with Eldrad and 3 Hemlocks. So I'm just like, that's...
Is this also a poo tuber?
Sorry?
Is this also a poo tuber?
So he does a podcast called Look Out Sir.
Okay.
Which you can check out.
Download, listen to,
yeah.
Interact with.
Yeah. So this one I'm looking at, right, if I can kill the bikes, I'm fine, but it's going to be difficult because they've got 48 inch range, you've got range on the mech guns, so we can just pick off the mech guns. Luckily, I get the first turn. So I'm like, right, I can jump over, I can charge all these bikes, because it's a 72.5% success rate on 8 re-rolling, 1 or both. And then he just can't kill my mech guns, so I just walk in the middle of the board and I deal with everything else, right? He can't kill in my horde. Unfortunately, he seizes. Which was bad.
Twist in the tail.
Twist in the tail.
I was like, oh, Tom,
he was a bit over the moon.
Yeah,
he was a bit like, thank fuck for
It
that.
was worse because Martin was stood at the table and he had a Warhammer TV dice. And he's like, right, I'll use a Warhammer TV dice, and he used it right in front of me, and it's just like 6.
No.
They're like, bollocks.
So
Who did it?
No. So no, just Dan did. He used it with a Warhammer TV dice because Martin was right there.
Which Dan? Which?
Dan Cook.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, so he used Warhammer TV.
Yeah,
dice.
it's like those things are actually. I would make them
Use the
illegal.
force.
I would use them illegal at tournaments.
I was using them.
They are broke as all shit. Nikos, I played against obviously my close friend Warhammer TV Dan. Like, we play a lot of Warhammer together, and his dice are just like I tell him, I'm like, no, can't use them.
Use my dice.
Like they're bang out of order. Nikos, same experience.
I would agree. Yeah, I did after I got my set, I was using them quite a lot, but I've put them away. I only get them out on special occasions.
Yeah,
I only got them out at Crimbobo.
For cheating, basically.
Well, yeah, I only got them out at Crimbobo because my first round opponent was using them as well. I was like, what?
Well, I've got to up the tape.
Got a fucking fight.
There we go. Another piece of Ace Face in the chat. They are totally bust. So if we're just letting everyone know, if you are out there using the Warhammer TV dice, you are cheating.
I am cheating. That's going to get clipped.
How little you know.
Yeah, I'm going to kill it.
But please, so you got seized on, unfortunately.
I got seized on, but it's okay. I can still make a game of this.
Yeah.
And then so normally it's like scatter bikes, on average 8 wounds after the invulnerable save, so I lose 24 orcs. Then you've got the planes and the reapers. Maybe I lose 50. At the end of his shooting phase, I had a unit of 3 orcs, a unit of 11 orcs, and a unit of 15 orcs.
Out of 90 orcs.
Out of 90 orcs.
Wow.
And then I crump the unit of 15 orcs. I lose a guy because I got a warlord trait that allows me to do it, to keep them from running. I auto pass morale on the unit of 3.
Warlord traits now. So exciting.
Yeah. I auto pass morale on the unit of 3. And then the unit of 11 drops down to 2 because he's got a modifier of 2 on his leadership as well because of the planes.
Wow.
So I've lost about 75 boys.
Wow. In one turn of shooting.
In one turn.
That's incredible.
So that was pretty bad. But it's okay because I've got a plan.
All right.
So I take the unit of 14 now, boys, because I had to crump one.
Yeah.
And I charge it into the middle of the board. And I punch Eldrad in the head. I did fly the Waz bomb up to Eldrad, ready to beam him into space.
Exactly where he deserves to be.
But I didn't.
Oh.
Because I thought, you know what? The only thing I'm going to be charging with these boys is Eldrad. They're going to kill him anyway. I'll just shoot the bikes.
Yeah.
I'm going to play properly. So I do that, and I unstoppable Green Tide.
Which unit? The 3 or the 2?
I did it to the unit of 3 because the unit of 2 went to get an objective. Nothing else was in range of.
Okay.
So it's like 1 boy. It's fine. So I unstoppable Green Tide. and I'm right next to all his bikes. Like, right, 72.5% chance to get the charge off.
Yeah.
And I fail the charge.
Ah.
I'm like, shit. Now this game, now I'm in trouble. No, on all of his bikes.
Ah.
Yeah. So
can they not fall back and shoot anyway?
Well, it wasn't quite all of his bikes. I think I had 2 units that I could charge. They can, but I can kill them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so I can charge 2 units of bikes, and then I can shoot one, and then I'll have like 3 bikes left. And that's not enough to clear my horde, right? And then I just move the mech guns up in the middle of the board, and I just start clearing stuff. But I couldn't do that because I failed the charge. And when he turns around all those bikes, hoses all those orcs, hoses all the orcs, charges Eldorado, and then I just have mech guns. So the mech guns start pushing. Like, okay, well, when the mech guns start pushing, I'm still ahead in points. If I can stop him from tabling me, and I can keep board pressure around this big line of sight blocker that's near me, I should be okay. So I'm pushing and pushing and pushing. I start clearing his bikes. I start killing his Reapers. But I kill his Reapers down to like 1-man units because the units are free.
As they deserve to be, dead.
Well, but down
underfoot.
The problem is now they're just X-Arcs and they have Tempest launchers. So he sticks them behind a wall so I can't shoot them. They're holding objectives and I have no way to get at them.
Now you know what it's like, Tom.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What's it like?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't deal with it, man. This is why I take the unit free. So he kills, like, and then he just starts trying to chip his way out with mech guns, and I'm teleporting weird boys around, taking objectives and smiting stuff and all kinds. I think he could have jumped his Wave Serpent out from behind the line of sight blocker and charged all my mech guns. But he didn't do that in the end, so I managed to keep shooting him, and I shot the Wave Serpent down to 1 wound. At the end of turn 5, he has 7 models left, including where Wave Serpent on 1 wound, just hobbling off. And I've just lost my last mech gun.
Oh.
So it was a really good game, though. Man. It was just kind of like, and I'm not going to begrudge him winning off the seas. I think the seas really helped. It was something progressive, scorched earth, but we put all the rejects in the centre. So I seized on Scott earlier, and if I hadn't done that, I'd probably lost the game there and then, right?
Well, that's fair then.
So if he's going to, like, I don't mind losing to a seas if I'm going to win off seas as well, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. The game is effectively balanced in that particular way, right?
Yeah.
Like, because everyone can do it. Yeah.
He took a horde killer. He read the meta well. He took a horde killer. It killed hordes.
Yeah, I think he was. I think he was expecting like there to be lots of orcs. Ace there was there with a bunch of orcs as well, right?
Yeah.
He went for the Daka,
I didn't take a look at his list.
The looter bomb.
Yeah. So I played 8 games. I won 7, lost 1. I finished all my games.
Nice.
And at the heat, I got 3 favourite game votes and 2 best painted.
2 best painted?
Thank you, Rob.
Did you not let the organisers know that you didn't paint the army, so they should have taken?
Oh, I did, but they said it was cool.
No, because you're allowed to still vote for it.
Yeah, because it was cool. I acquired cool models.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
So you had so overall, looking at orcs as an army, because you've actually effectively play tested them in the field for us, which is lovely of you. Let's get a quick review of them all.
Well,
like, how would you rate the different units? How do you rate boys?
So I would have taken 120 boys.
Yeah.
I think the way you build the orc list is you build it based on how many orcs you think you can take and finish games with. So you'd take battalion, 3 units of boys, and then you'd add on any more boys. So I think I could finish a game with 120 boys.
Yeah.
So I'd take 120 boys, and then the mech guns and everything else, and the looters and all that stuff are just frills that you just add on to fill out the points, right? Because the core is the boys.
I mean, like, so when we go on to talk about the new chapter approved missions, like the boys, like the troop choice, like there's a mission that like troops become like quite important, and the boys in that are just devastating.
Halfway through game 8, I discovered the mech guns had 6 wounds rather than 5.
Nice. Also, that's good. That's
a good thing to know.
Also, had you read the FAQ, you would know that you attack at the end of the phase.
Oh, fuck.
But that's like...
It made no difference anyway.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right, good. It made no difference?
Yeah.
Good.
I thought I worded it specifically differently for a specifically different reason.
Well, they did, and then they specifically changed the specific writing in the specific FAQ.
Why?
I don't know.
Maybe the codex was a beta rule.
Yeah, the codex was a beta codex.
He was fighting me with 5 plague bearers anyway.
Yes, that's
so
fine.
It made no odds, but
yeah,
it's just like...
As long as you don't think it made any difference, because we know that you'd be honest with its response.
Well, I had like 45 boys left at the end.
And always worth noting to anyone playing at a tournament, read the codex and the FAQ.
I didn't even have the codex. That's a big whoopsie. My bad.
That happens. You also played with 1 wound down all your mech guns.
I did. For 7 games.
Okay. Right. You also came 3rd at the LGT thinking one of your stratagems cost 2 CP, not 1 CP. Yeah, so...
Also, speaking of big whoopsies...
Have you seen that there's a workbook on the website, Tom,
I have.
which helps you, like, learn things?
Unfortunately, I was too busy pushing 200 orcs around the board.
To read the book.
Pretty much. Speaking of big whoopsies, we need to give big cred to someone actually. So you remember Morgan from last year?
Yes, we do.
So he was
Slow play knobhead.
Yeah, well,
that's what we're calling him so far, and now Tom can talk about his ascension.
He finished all his games.
He played Orcs.
He played Orcs. He finished all his games. He was on table 2 right next to me when I played my final game, and it looked like, from my perspective, he was because he played James in the final round.
He's reformed.
He is reformed.
That tournament,
from what I saw, yeah.
Congratulations, that's excellent.
Because we want to demonise the crime, not the person. At the end of the day, right?
Yes, because someone can reform.
Of course,
we believe in a reformal justice system.
Yeah.
So well done.
Yeah.
We no longer will call you a knobhead on the internet.
Yes.
And I think that's really fair. And also, Ace also went 4-on-1 with Orcs.
Yeah.
So did Orcs go 4-on-1 3 times?
3 times.
Wow. Wowie. And you feel like you could have won that last game had you had the first turn?
Or made a charge. Yes.
Or made a charge.
Yes.
I mean, that's massive, right? So Orcs are in a really solid place competitively.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting +1 to go first anyway. I mean, I was lucky to win that roll.
Yeah.
And then he was lucky to seize. It's just like, well, fine.
Yeah.
But, I'm not going to begrudge him that at all. Well done to him. Well done to James as well.
Didn't he also win?
Yeah, he won.
And his name was?
Dan Cook.
Dan Cook.
Yeah.
Smashing, great.
So this is a problem that I actually encountered. So James Mackenzie came second. Mm-hmm. And he kind of just smashed everyone.
With what army?
Tyranids and Genestealer Corps.
Okay, so I have loads of questions to ask about that.
Yes.
Okay.
So Nick Rose and him wrote the list together.
Yeah.
And it hits pretty hard. It's actually pretty durable as well. The aberrants are really good.
None of that I question.
Yeah.
What I question is number one, Dude Our Day has just donated 200 bits to the Nicron Party Bits. Oh, Nick also.
For test, you don't need to buy as many test vaults now.
Yeah.
Just the one.
Just the one.
You've got nothing
yeah, I do have a question to ask about that because me and Tom, who's helped build the website, an avid Genestealer Corps fan, and as you know, when 8th edition came around, I was diligently obsessed with trying to make Genestealer Corps work, and they don't. Now, it would seem like I would be massively wrong because of the second placing at this tournament.
And Nick won the boys GT in the US with Genestealer Corps as well.
Yes. My issue is I just don't see it. Like, I read it through on paper a dozen times. Yeah. I've read the armies that he played, which 3 or 4 of them should just win. Like, based on... Like, because this is how it works, right? Like, we don't get to... There is player skill, so we get to, like, say, we think this player has a greater level of skill because he's using an army that shouldn't be Unit X. An example would be an army that can kill all of your boys in a single round of shooting, the army you played last, versus a horde of just boys. You're against it in that particular matchup.
Exactly.
Right? So, anyway, Genestealer Corps, I don't see.
So, I think there's more to that list than meets the eye because James came second with 1 favourite game and 1 favourite army. And normally James gets a lot more than that because he's a really friendly dude. So the problem that I think he had was, so at the end of round 1, he was wandering around half an hour in saying, yeah, I've won, lol. Round 2, about an hour and a half in. Round 3, 45 minutes in. And he was just creaming people.
Right.
So it wasn't really competitive, if you know what I mean. So first of all, that means, 1, that list is really, really good. It actually worked quite well.
I'm just going to say that I don't agree.
That's fine. Like,
because I did.
There must be something
and
that's
the results prove me different.
Could he have been playing people who maybe had a good list but didn't know necessarily how to wield it?
Well, my point that I was going to make was he was smashing everyone, and I think that might have actually gone against him a little bit because the games weren't long enough for people to justify voting it as favourite game.
Yeah, okay, I understand that. Like, more importantly, the aberrants hit hard, right? So there was 2 units of 5 aberrants.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
And they're inside chimeras.
I don't think we're inside the chimeras. I think he puts chimeras on the board when he. I didn't get to watch his games because my games were all going quite late or close.
I'm just fascinated to hear it because
that's fine,
I was like in an hour-long conversation with someone. We were trying to work it. I don't understand how all of the Genestealers don't just die. Yeah, just end of conversation from like the anti-infantry shooting in the world. Yeah, I don't understand how that doesn't happen. I don't understand how that because so you've got anti-infantry guns and you've got anti-vehicle guns. And the anti-vehicle guns would be used on the chimeras, so they should be dead. So if the aberrants are in there, then the aberrants are now foot slogging.
Which I don't think they are.
And if they're not, and they're striking, like they still they can hit hard, but they can't fly, and they'll hit a screen. Genestealers will hit a screen. Like so, you got all the anti-infantry to deal with the anti-infantry, and then you got the anti-armor to hit the only other armor that's in there, which is the chimeras. So colour me a different colour. I don't understand how it's happening.
We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'm very excited to hear it. Yeah, because I'm like so massive shout out, like applaud and a round of applause for the second place, because ultimately, like, so who came first?
Dan Cook.
Dan Cook, big shout out to Dan Cook, congratulations. But he won with Eldar. Yeah,
But
I don't want to tell you. The stats show that he should do well with Eldar.
We have had 3 majors in November, and all of them were won by Eldar players, and all different Eldar players.
Yeah, so if someone goes 4-1 with Eldar, I'm just not impressed.
I would like to go with Dan. At least his list was creative. It was scatterbikes.
I think it's. That was a good call. It was a played for and got moment, because he read the meta,
well,
anti-meta list, and it worked well for him. So
I don't think meta was as prevalent at the heat as you'd expect. I think you saw more Marines at the heat and more Admech at the heat than you tend to expect.
It's quite.
But when you get to the top,
it's quite
section,
a low skill cap.
So the top section was all basically horde lists and that.
So so he's brought out. So he's anti-meta'd it, which is fantastic. But where I'm super interested is the second place. Gene Stealer Cult's doing well is unheard of. And it's got like the classic I've got lots of Gene Stealers, which is a kind of classic motif of Gene Stealer Cults that you generally see do well. There was one at the beginning of the year, potentially at the LCO, or there was another one, a Gene Stealer Cult army that did fairly well. But again, it was super Gene Stealer heavy.
I'm just going to quick check something.
It was super Gene Stealer heavy as opposed to super aberrant.
Do you know how many Gene Stealers you had?
He had a lot. I think he had a unit of 15, and I think he had another unit of maybe 13. He had something like, I think he had 31 or something Gene Stealers, so quite a lot of Gene Stealers.
Yeah, I don't know if... I'm interested to see how he got them across the board, because he didn't have the Swarm Lord, they're not double moving. And I know they have like a hive node thing where they can not deploy and then pop out of the thing, but that's in your deployment zone. And he's not got like a Trigon to tunnel up with them, so it'd be interesting.
I can't find
how he got across the board.
I know why he just pops out using the Gene Stealer called Ambush Ring.
Oh yes.
And then you use mind control, so you can't overwatch, and you just charge all the shit.
Okay.
So I think maybe he's dropping it with the Gene Stealers, and the Gene Stealers come in to kill over screen, and the turn afterwards he drops any aberrants and he charges.
Yeah, he must have got reasonably good luck then, because I know that the Gene Stealer cult ambush thing isn't that reliable. Like you can get like
you can get a reroll on it.
He might if I find a way to make it more reliable. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But
I
think it's it must be a clever list, and he's a clever player. So
again, no criticism. There's no criticism. There's enthusiasm and
shock.
What I get to do is this. I get to go, I don't know how you've done it, and I don't think you should have been able to done it. And then he can go, well, fuck you. This is how I did it, and this is the way I do it, which is great, because I'm only asking the challenging question so that we can get the response that we all want. Because I love that army. I love the models.
And how I think it's fucking
amazing. How's he done it? And I want to know.
And if it is pants, that's all the more credit to James.
All the more credit.
I don't think it's pants. But
okay. All right.
Knowing the guys who are involved in creating that list, it's not pants.
Okay. Well, it's really interesting to hear. I want to know. That's what I want to know. The GC second place dude used psychic power for no watches and just tied people up and confused them.
Confusion is a good way to go at the heats.
Yes, and I mean that's true. I did make a moment a second ago. I said the skill cap's quite low, but I just think that there are a lot of hobbyists who go.
I guess it's the type of army where he won't reveal what he's going to do when you deploy. So someone who's not particularly great at the game might just deploy my Marines in the buildings and expect my opponent to deploy their Marines in the buildings opposite, and they go, well, we're just going to shoot each other for the next 2.5 hours.
That's what basically people do with me. You're going to deploy on the line. I'm going to deploy all my orcs on the line. Then you're going to shoot me, and then I'm going to punch you.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to work.
Also, Hype261, thank you so much for subscribing for 3 months in a row. He says, can this sub go towards getting Tom a haircut?
No.
Okay. So would you play orcs again, Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah?
When I've had some more back physiotherapy and reconstructive surgery.
Nice.
So long as the doctor doesn't leave a glove and some compressors in there, I should be fine.
Good. Did you find the mech guns great fun?
They were good fun. They were. So...
Did you use movement trays?
No.
And
I finished all the games anyway.
Wow.
In 2.5 hours.
Did you use a croupier?
No. I didn't. I used my big fingers.
You don't actually so when I played with the list, you don't actually move a lot of models. The mech gun's basically stationary unless you move.
You pick up the boys.
You pick up 30 boys because you've jumped them and you move them somewhere, and then possibly you move 2 other units of 30 boys if you're moving them at all. If one of them's already dead, and then you move a plane. It's basically you move 3 units. Right, so it's not like a complex list, right?
No, not really. It's not a complex. So it's not a complex list in that it's really interactive. You have to be thinking the entire time. It feels more like this is what the list does in this situation. I just have to be fast enough to make sure it happens.
Yeah.
So it was less interactive than I'd normally like, because obviously I like my elbow with all my toys and my tools.
So they're interactive for you, Tom.
Yes. Because I get to do
it for the other person.
Fuck the other person. Free favourite game votes, by the way.
because you're hijacking the spirit of 1,000 decent orc human beings.
Have you seen?
Who played with them?
And I finished games. Have you seen my Waz Bomb Blaster Jet? This is what it does.
Did you do any wars?
I did not scream a wah.
Also, another testimony. You didn't scream wah.
I did not scream wah.
You don't even belong to play the army. I'm never lending you again.
Because I asked my opponents if they said, please don't.
That's true. Also, Aceface said he played with 130 models. He finished every game and had never played the list before. So it just goes to show you that a couple of poo tubers can actually move their models around. Yeah. But then also so did a former character who has reformed himself and who previously is one of the reasons for the criticism of that particular army.
Yeah.
So turns out he stepped it up.
Although they didn't extend the round times and they kept the points the same, right?
Wow, that's moving great onto our next conversation. Also, John says, and as a final note, fuck you, Tom, and cultural appropriation.
That's fine.
But cultural with a K. He actually hasn't written cultural with a K, so he's wrong there.
Yeah.
Stupid orc player.
That's
not famous for spelling.
That's effectively what Met Guns are doing, though, right?
What?
They're earning a detachment under like Evil Sun's culture, and so they're dressing up as the culture, but they don't actually get to use the culture.
They don't get to use any of the culture. No.
No.
I can't wait for the Renaissance grot.
Renaissance
Yeah, who assumes all the culture of an orc. Wow. Right, so if you've been listening to this particular podcast, thank you very much for listening. And thank you to everyone on Twitch and Patreon who help us with all this jazz.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Thanks guys. So feel free to share it around and let people know what you think. There are two other shows to listen to from 40k. Thank you to Tom and Nick.
Thank you.
Everyone on Twitch chat, you should join us every Thursday because it's ladies' night.
It is.
Right, so that's the end of that recording. Everyone on Twitch, don't worry, we're still here. And hello, welcome to Thursday Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob. It's Thursday night, it's ladies' night, it's 40k night, and I'm joined by Nikos.
Hello.
Tom. Boom. And
Terrible.
And we're joined by everyone on Twitch on thehonestwargamer.com. You should join. No, it's not on there. Not yet. Fuck.
Not yet.
Fuck, stop telling people, Rob. And shit.
Oh no, that was fine.
That's fine.
I think that was obvious. That was obvious. Come on, man.
And we are sponsored by everyone on. We are sponsored by everyone on Patreon and everyone on Twitch who subscribes. If you're watching it, just leave some comments below. Share, like. There's a share button, button there. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us. Tell your mum and dad and whoever.
But don't tell your nan, we're too rude.
Nans will like
Especially tell your mum.
No, this is how it works,
They
I
love
think.
a good cheeky chappy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. I honestly think this is how life goes. Teenagers, rebellious, angry, furious. Yeah, swear words, all the thing. Can't wait to get out of that phase. And then middle age, right, okay, look, we all need to calm down now and relax. And then you get to like Nathan's age, right? And then you move into like, yeah, fuck you, fuck everyone. I'm old now, I'll say what I like. Yeah, so
it goes back to that kind of, it's like a bell curve of appropriate.
Like Sunisa saying, my nan is fucking rude. There we go. My
Don't give a shit anymore, does she?
She give no shits. She's like, I'm old, I'm going to fucking tell you about yourself. That's my experience.
Yeah.
Tom, yours?
I'm 25.
Okay.
So show your sisters.
Jesus. Right. So who's pumped for 40k and chapter approved? What are yours two's reactions initially? Like, are you so excited or not excited?
I'm medium. I'm
fuck
excited for the new missions.
Yes.
I'm less enthusiastic about the points changes. And are we including the new formations thing in this?
Yeah, we might as well. Vigilus.
I'm not particularly excited about that.
All right.
Because I just think it's just more layers of rules that they're wanting to add in. Another book that they want to sell to flog you.
Yeah. So isn't one mission basically Fortnite? It is, but it's also it's technically
I've not
PUBG.
seen this mission. You'll have to tell us.
Yeah, it's
which is
PUBG
technically
mission.
H1Z1, which is technically Minecraft.
Yeah.
Hunger Games.
So actually I can do it now. Oh, hold on one moment.
I haven't actually seen
I will do this now. I'll do it in a minute. All right, so you're excited by the missions,
Missions excite me.
not excited by the points,
Points,
and then
the formations I'm not that keen on.
you're against
Just
that.
another layer of rules and another book that will flog you.
All right, nice. Tom,
Missions I've not seen, but I'm assuming they're better than Recon, so yes. Points, gash,
oh, wow,
not
okay.
good. And formations, I get to use my wind raiders again. That's up for debate as to whether or not that's good. Because that wind raider one is making me giggle.
Right, okay. And then my follow-up is, right, so cause I've turned the corner with 40k this week. I just want everyone to know that.
You turn a corner with 40k every week.
Yeah, but I really have at this stage. Like, I really have, especially with the missions. So the missions are more in line with like how I think war games should be done. Like, especially with you can't wipe someone out.
Oh,
Boo!
That's key. That's really, really
I hate
key.
that. I hate it.
Yeah, of course you do.
Because that was my entire style. Don't look at the mission, just kill them.
Yeah, which is not really like, because it grossly affects armies being shit, as an example, in either output or defense. Massively is affected by the I can just kill you and win.
Well, now you just take as many models as you can. You walk them into the middle of the board. You take as many points as you can. Say, "Lol, it doesn't matter what you do for the next 3 turns. I'm going to the bar." You just move on.
Well, no, the missions aren't exactly like that because there's some variation.
Okay.
But like effectively, like I mean, like Age of Sigmar is a great game. Yeah, like 40k is a great game except for the missions. And now I haven't played them yet. It looks like the missions are at least something more interesting than the previous
it's
missions.
not Recon, so
Yeah, so I'm fucking hyped. Yeah, I'm going to play a ton of these. I'm actually going to do a message out soon, and hopefully, I think maybe on Saturday we're playing one of them live on this Wargamer, right?
Yeah.
because it will have dropped on Saturday.
It will have dropped on Saturday, so we will be playing a game in the studio. I think you two are playing. Yeah.
Are we going to do an over-exclaim?
Huh?
Are we going to do an over-exclaim?
An over-exclaim?
Yeah.
What's that?
Remember that concept that I floated to you of an over-explained game?
Yeah, it's going to be that. An over-explained game during the mission. So I'll try and pick the most interesting mission, and what'll be fun is watching Tom try to play a tactical mission.
What the fuck?
That'll be exciting. That'll be worth the watching on its own.
Welcome to the Clown Fiesta.
yeah. And I'm just going to sit here with you guys on the Twitch chat, giggling like a baby. So we're going to do a game on Saturday. So if you guys want to watch live, feel free to join us. It's going to be pretty cool. So I'm really excited about the missions. Fuck yes. Yeah, because I think it opens up loads of...
So positive missions, yeah.
Missions potentially has revitalised 40k for me in a way that I haven't felt quite so pumped at since maybe before the first big FAQ. Like, 'cause I think it's been a
So when I was running 10 Flying Hive Tyrants?
Yes. I think it's been I think it's been a cavalcade of fuck-ups by Games Workshop since then. And I think this at least...
I think getting rid of the 10 Flying Hive Tyrants is a good idea.
Yes, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
Every other idea,
Yes.
like, whatever.
Harlequins.
Yeah.
Namely.
But I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'm like pumped, right? I'm in. Let's do that. Next up, points. We'll have a long conversation
They
about
don't
that
know
in a
what
minute,
they're
but bad.
They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, bad on the points. And then finally, like, points for sales, in my opinion. And then, what was the other one? Formations? No. Like, in a game that's already overloaded.
The formations
with...
and points, to me, it's just, please fucking buy Primaris Marines, basically.
It won't work, because
May
so
as
long as
well.
Eldar are good, Primaris Marines suck. And Eldar are always good.
Yes.
So,
But they don't. Anyway,
Can't stop it.
so and I think the formations is a terrible idea because while it exists in Age of Sigmar, which is great, like there is at one point, like Tom, you won't know this, but there was a thing called Vanguard Wing, and there was also a thing called Change Host. Yeah, those two dominated gaming.
the Change Host was the Zinch thing, right?
Yeah, it dominated gaming for an entire year.
It's very good, but loads of fun to play, Change Host.
Against or with.
With.
Yes, against no, and then Vanguard Wing even less so. In fact, I played some more Vanguard Wing and I ended up in hospital. So
Did it ruin your leg?
no, ruined my teeth. In that
You ate
particular-
it?
Yeah,
You're
I ate it.
grinding your teeth in hate. So.
A big shout out to
So
Colin.
what did the clown car do?
Similar. Like the Clown Car again was a one-drop formation that effectively so what we've had and there was a huge amount of formations that didn't do much, but people included them for tactical reasons, and then you just had small imbalances in a singular formation that caused irrevocable damage to the game as a consistency. And I think 40k's probably got some more adaptability than needing formations, like especially because of the detachments system. So
Yeah, I do predict that there will. I don't know how many formations there are, but there will be a couple that will be broke as hell,
and a couple that are absolutely useless.
Yeah, that you would never.
Have you seen the Wind Rider one yet?
No.
Well, we'll talk about it in a minute. So, so that's my initial thoughts. So, like, we'll approach each subject and we'll try and talk it out, and then we're going to talk about.
So it's like a triptych.
Yes. And then we're going to talk about the missions. We'll talk about the missions last because that's the one that's going to be in most detail. So we'll do the other stuff first. Maybe. Do you think maybe we should do the first missions because?
But this is like a first react, right? It's not like an in-depth. Kind
no,
of,
because we actually talked about this, didn't we? This week, us guys, because obviously the book isn't officially out yet, and also we'd quite like to do some really detailed research, because I think what will happen is you'll have all these first reacts, and obviously a bunch of the people who get given codex ahead of time have already done their first reacts with limited information. So, and then it will just be stopped, because the sort of people that do news articles, they won't do anything particularly informative beyond this, because they'll be like, what's the next thing that we can react to or put some information out for? So I think going next week, what we talked about was doing some in-depth looks at all the different factions and the points changes, and start to like put lists together and really understand the lay of the land.
And the formations are individualist thing that's coming out next month, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and also Ghost Valley makes a point before we go any further, I don't want to miss it. Where was it? Formations are a way to address. Formations are, he thinks, in his opinion, are a way to address older books' deficiencies and not just Codex Churn Forever? ?
It could be the intention. So. Doesn't mean it works.
Yes, could be the intention.
Yeah,
doesn't mean it works. Yeah. But to be borne out by so what we obviously we're stating our opinions as gamers, right?
Yeah. Not very well researched.
So, do you want to do the missions first, or would you like to do just like the points, or would you like to do the formations?
I think we should end on a positive note. So if we do the points first.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how about I prefix it with a statement, and you guys throw your opinions in. I think the points for many of the units have gone down drastically. I'm used to this, by the way, as a system. So for an Age of Sigmar as a system, when you get the General Handbook, Nick, I'm sure you're used to this. Points changes are huge for like, not huge, sorry. The point changes are quite sweeping across the board. So you're used to every faction. It's basically a new edition of the game when it comes to points. Yeah. So I have no problem with that initially, but the issue with 40k was that some games weren't finishing, so they reduced the points down to 1750.
No, but reducing the points of the models down.
It seems they've reduced the points of most of the armies quite a lot, so it's almost like you're playing a new 2,000 point game.
Yeah.
So that's my initial kickoff and my thoughts. Anyone? And also Twitch chat.
Yeah. Yeah, people are going to have to...
That's just how maths works.
Yes.
Yeah.
So characters generally have got like a 20%. Characters have generally got like a 20% discount.
I thought you were going to say something along the lines of, they're decreasing the points to try and encourage you to buy more units or something like this. Do you think?
I think they're reducing points because they're trying to do what the community wants and make the game more balanced. They're trying to. I don't see that necessarily as a sales pitch to sell more things that they want to sell. I think they do that through their model vlogging, blogging. Yeah,
and I don't actually think they're doing it for that reason either. So the thing is, I would, if you're reducing points of units to make more units viable, and therefore increase list diversity because there are more viable units that you can potentially take in an army, I don't think that actually increases list diversity. I don't think an increase in decent units necessarily correlates with you seeing more different units on the tabletop in competitive play. Because it doesn't matter if a unit is slightly better than another unit or much better than another unit. You'll probably see the slightly better unit, the better unit, right? Regardless. It doesn't matter how big that gap is. You'll see the better one.
So like before we get on to, so obviously we don't understand in any way, shape or form the motivators behind why they did. So there's a couple of and it's good to put it all out there and just kind of broach it. So Datcom makes a really good point, reducing the points of unused models instead of increasing what is used. If you have to do one or the other, this one pisses less people off, which is great.
It's also the Dota 2 method, buff everything rather than nerf everything.
Yes. Yeah. Issue is though, unless that's been gone through with a fine tooth comb, more than likely. So you had currently, let's pick a Castellan as an example.
Okay.
The Castellan was an issue.
Yes.
I would say in 40k competitively. The Castellan is an issue, and so you could look at the Castellan and think, I'll put the points up on the Castellan. Yeah. Instead, what they've done is they put the points down on lots of the units.
They've still put things up a little bit though.
Some, yes, definitely. But the Castellan, they haven't.
No, they haven't done the Castellan. They haven't done with the Talos either.
No.
The Shining Spears have barely gone up. Reapers have stayed the same.
Right. So problematic units haven't changed.
Correct.
Right. But everything else that was not as good potentially has gone down.
Yes.
And while that's great, that those things are more viable, the issue is we don't know if they've reduced them too much that's caused more issues.
Well, the problem you have now is you had borderline units. So even before the big FAQ, just after the big FAQ, but before this, I was writing a list with Wind Riders in. Because I reckon there could have been a space for Wind Riders in the game if the meta kept moving the way it was. So, but now, not only was there a space for them, they're cheaper. So they fit well so they were fine in the end, they just weren't being seen because of the types of list you'd run into.
Yeah.
And now you'll run them because you run into the right list for them to play against, and they're better.
Well, I'm really excited because so I've looked at some of the points and I said to Nikos earlier that I love the idea of a Primaris army. I always have, because I think that those models are just brilliant. And I've got a kick-ass AdMech army. So my Dragoons got cheaper, my Ballistari got cheaper, and most importantly, if you go back and listen to it from all the way back in the day, my Cataphoron Destroyers have got 25 points cheaper each, from 40 points to 15 points. Yeah.
Okay.
Right, which was, do you remember, Tom, when we did the rundown when it's the D6 plasma shots, but I can take 12 of them, and I can have it so that they hit on 3s, reroll 1s, and they get +1 damage and +1 to wound on their plasma shots.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, right?
Right.
Yeah, gross. And that 12-man unit is, well, it's more than 12. It's like 600 points. It's pretty cool. It's doesn't take a shot very well, and it'll die.
So you're saying you can take 36 of them for 1,800 points.
A little bit less because you need characters and stuff. But yeah, you could do that. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, but so I mean that's cool.
And if you went first, it'd be great.
Well, that's what we said on the rundown. That's what we said on the rundown. But that unit has become way cheaper, and I'm just awesome. I'm really excited by that. But then I know Nikos's Necron Warriors have got a point cheaper.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that?
Are they still the most expensive?
That feels choice? Probably they're 11 point. Most expensive? No.
Yeah, because
tactical
as in
it
helps them.
They're cheaper than Immortals, I think.
Are they?
Immortals.
You had to take units of 10, didn't you, Necron Warriors?
Sorry?
You had to take units of 10 with Necron Warriors, whereas Immortals could come in units of 5.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah. I'm thinking point for point as a model, yeah. So they're still the most expensive. I do feel like the 1 point... 2
points each?
Yeah, something like that. But the 1 point reduction just feels like a bit of a pity point drop.
They did reduce your baby though, didn't they?
Huh?
The Doomslave.
Well, yeah, that went down in points.
Down to 150.
Yeah.
So only a point drop on the Necron Warriors.
Well, they had quite a few point drops. Like the Annihilation Barge went down.
Yeah.
About 20 or 30 points, which is quite nice. Some weapons went down in points. Catacomb Command Voyage went down a few points. The Night Scythe and the Doom Scythe went down a few points. Warriors and Immortals went down a couple of points, and then one of the combat units went down a few points as well. And the Triarch Stalker went down some points.
And then they took the Tesseract Vault to the local park and booted it straight into the road.
It does feel. It feels like what they've done is they've gone to everyone with a codex and they've gone, "Here's an ice cream." And you're like, "Oh my god, that's so great! Thank you very much." Yeah. And you go, "But everyone else has got an ice cream," and you're like, "Oh, shit."
And if you're Necrons, they put something in your ice cream that doesn't. Yeah.
No. What I mean is, Eldar was stood there with they had a tub of ice cream, and they were like, I'm having loads of fun.
Kid in the corner.
I'm just I'm loving life. Yeah, and they were just having the best time. And then someone's gone over and given them an ice cream. Yeah, and everyone else an ice cream. Yeah, and all that happens is everyone's got an ice cream, but the good army still have their tub of ice cream plus their. That's
a good analogy.
Their curly whirly. Yeah, so
And now I want ice cream.
Yeah, me too. So are we medium on the points?
Yeah, I just think I haven't really considered it until you said I've had a points drop in my Necrons, but so has everyone else. So it's not really. Necrons were under strength already. Now everyone's got better in roughly the same degree. So we're still we're still going to be behind.
I think
by
so.
pretty much the
Here's
same
thing.
margin.
I think the things that they've changed in points shows how out of touch they are with the game to a degree.
Well, so so what someone has said, and I think this is fair if you're listening as well. Like, not all games are match play games at a tournament.
No.
Right? Absolutely. Like, and my argument, my
No, that's fine.
go on.
fine.
My
I was going
argument,
to say chapter approved is for match play.
chapter approved is for match
Yeah.
play, although there is a narrative. No, there's a narrative part to it, and there's an
Yeah.
open play part that they release. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like super on board with people trying to do the narrative part. And if you're out there and you're listening, and you think I just want to like play games, and you should go out and make narrative events and be the people leading your community doing that. When it comes to match play and playing at tournaments specifically, so some people criticize competitive gamers because they break the game, but actually if you do that, it makes like as an example, I take a Necron army to a game and I just get my ass kicked by an Eldar army, and I'm like, I must be terrible at the game.
As is tradition.
Yeah, but I must be terrible at the game. Not saying that that's what will always happen, but sometimes will, right? But if the competitive scene help by improving that and showing, look, these are too good and these aren't very good, and then chapter approved balances those out to a degree. I do think there's a rock paper scissors mentality, so the concept of balance isn't good, but interactivity is something you can improve. That would mean that those people who are playing just fun games have more fun games because the armies are more interactively leveled.
Yes.
Yeah. Right? I think that's
rather than like Timmy and Jimmy have just picked up an Eldar and the Necron army. They're just starting out in the hobby. Timmy's got Eldar and Jimmy keeps losing every week, and then he drops out the hobby. Which is really sad.
So Mr. Kapowski said, I've said it before, as a casual gamer, I want competitive gamers to break the game to make it better overall.
It's like people that go and test safes.
Pardon me?
It's like, safes to keep your jewellery in.
Yeah.
People will come over there, so you stick out your safe, and you go and tell a bunch of competitive gamers to go and kick the shit out of this safe. So you kick the shit out of it, and the hinge is a bit wobbly. So you fix the wobbly hinge, and then you get another safe. Say, right, competitive gamers, come and kick the shit out of my safe. And the bottom falls off. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's the intent is... So the concept that... So I don't think it's a really fair concept, that they've just reduced all the points all around so that people can have more access to their things. But that said, we did talk about the fact that some of the earlier codexes, AdMech as an example, the points were a lot higher than you tended to find up until about Craft World. All of the codexes released, the indexes and the codexes points were quite on level.
Yeah.
But after Craft World, most codexes, when they got a new codex, their points went down versus the index.
Here's the thing, chapter approved in terms of points feels like a book that was written 6 months ago. And it probably was. Because it was sent to print. And so a lot of these changes have come in. So like, as I say...
Minimum 3 months.
Yeah.
Minimum 3 months.
And then what... Sorry,
No, it's fine. Just the Windrider thing. Windriders would have been good anyway because the meta has a habit of fixing itself. And then they just come in with a blunt instrument and say, make these good. It's like, okay, well...
Yeah, we talked about this. We talked about this before. Actually, I'm really excited about chapter approved because I hope that it just stays. Chapter approved stays the points and everything, good, bad, the ugly, and everything. Nick, I'm really sorry about the Necrons. Yeah, I just hope that I'm so sorry, but I just hope that the whole thing lasts.
It is intentional from Games Workshop. It is intentional from Games Workshop. They are systematically
oppressing the
Necron race.
Right. Okay.
Racism. All right. I feel like chapter approved would be a perfect book, much like a Big FAQ 1 and Big FAQ 2, to be released online. Because that way, now you're not constrained to print deadlines, which means you can, if you can't read the game 6 months in advance.
They had the opportunity. Like if chapter approved points were done 6 months ago from now, the FAQ came out last month. They could have looked at what they were going to release and go, oh well, what are the points changes we need to make then? Because they changed some points then, didn't they?
Yeah, so they could change the points in the big FAQs.
So all right. So let's do this. Let's do this way around because I feel like uniquely placed to answer this. And I know I had a bit of a conversation on Twitter this week with people being like, you cuss out the company all the time. Like, number one, I'm real excited about chapter approved, and I'm excited about playing some games of 40k with the new missions. That's just a flat fact. But Tom, ask me the question. Say to me, Rob, like the most prudent way of doing the points would be to do it all online and constantly have a living updated workbook? Ask me that question, and then I'll answer.
Rob, what the best way to update?
No, well, what do you think? I'll ask you. What do you think the best way? Ignore every other factor, and this is to the Twitch chat as well. What is also Scaredcast? Hello from Canada.
Yeah.
What would be the very best way to have points and rules live for a game? I'm asking you to first.
Before we do that, can I just show and say that I did an interview with Scaredcast that you can go and check out on the Honest Wargamer SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud and iTunes.
Boom. There you go. So now I've got no excuse not to listen to it.
Yeah. Also, by the way, and congratulations to people listening to this show, we now are at 300,000 downloads on our podcast. Well, 3,001, so well done.
That's on SoundCloud.
That's 300,000 sounds like a lot.
Does that include iTunes as well? Or?
Yeah, it's just all
the things.
The stats,
nice.
I think. Yeah. But anyway, sorry. What would be the best way for it all to live for you? Do
it online. You can release a missions book at the end of the year. That's perfectly fine. I don't have as much of a problem with that because it's just keeping it fresh, and you know. But the points, I think you need to be doing a little bit closer to, because it's so hard to read the game 6 months in advance, especially if you're changing the game in the middle of that. Like, so if you send it to print in like August, and then the book comes out in December, and between the August and the December you're releasing another big patch, it's so hard to read that. So just do the points on the flaming big FAQs.
Okay. Nikos?
Have an app, and then do like maybe quarterly updates to points.
So you could subscribe to or something?
Yeah.
All right.
For free.
Yeah, so you could have an app.
I'll give my idea.
Similar to like Age of Sigmar, you have the app where you can access the basic rules, and then you can do army lists on there, you can have your army book rules on there if you want. The actual basic rules as well on the app, similar to the Age of Sigmar app works.
All right. Okay, cool.
Something like that.
Dave Fraser says best way to deliver points rules is not what War Machine and Horde did, because they managed to kill their game. That's what Dave Fraser did. I think we'd have to get some feedback on that. And actually, what would be really interesting is if we did an editorial show where we looked at a bunch of different game systems and how they do their point slash.
We could probably get a Warhammer Hordes player in.
We could do. We'll talk about this after. Yeah.
They like 2D terrain. I'm not sure how to get on with that person.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Honestly,
I'm used to that.
Infinity's way of handling points being all free and all their list builder tool works well, since they can just release an update and everyone sees it all at once online. Zardin should give away a digital copy with every copy for purchase. I have a question. I bought all of the books, all of the codexes. I've bought 100% on iTunes on my iBooks.
Yeah, snap.
Do my iBooks get updated with the new points?
I thought they did.
Every now and then I look and there's a different percentage next to the book, so I think they do get updated. But I don't know if that's the points being updated or that's just some rules or
I don't know.
Wording changes.
But I think it's a question I'd like to ask them. And then Scaredcast says, I'm scared is right, or scarred? Scaredcast, there we go. I feel like a living digital document would be easy, you just need a subscription service.
Yeah.
And the books are just narrative, lore, art, etc. says Rettestante. And then War Machine Hordes, according to Alandrinol, didn't kill themselves with the app, but by releasing hilariously unbalanced garbage edition. So those guys have got some, and the enhanced versions do get updated. Excellent, I'm excited.
But not the unenhanced.
No. So you've proposed the thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Now I'm sorry to be like the bucket of cold water, but would you like me to tell you why they won't?
I would love you to tell you why we wouldn't.
Okay. Right. So this comes down to my time internally inside Games Workshop.
Oh, good.
In the belly of the
like these stories.
No, like it's not like so. It's just meant to be observational. I don't have an axe to grind. That's not me. I would prefer the system you guys are talking about, and I think it's better. I'm not saying that this might not happen.
It's just their logic.
I'm saying let me tell you what the system is, and then you decide whether or not you think that it will change based on the system. Okay. So, because the books, specifically the rules, come out of a part of the company called Books and Box Games. Now you'll have seen on podcasts and their YouTube and a bunch of other stuff, a man called Pete, who's the head of Books and Box Games, Pete Foley, and that's his department. Inside that department is a variety of people. There is the group responsible for all the rules. I think it's 6 people. There's the group responsible for all the narrative. It's a different 6 people. They're different groups.
It's almost like there was a disconnect between the narrative and the rules.
Well, no, they do have meetings and they do work really hard. Yeah.
No, of course.
Like, I'm going to be as forthright as I can about this. They all have meetings and they work really hard, and in my opinion, they don't get the resources or the time to do.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I still think that they put out a great product because I'm in love with the game, right? So whatever. So those are the two, and he also has also the artists are under his purview. So that's part of putting the books together. The photographers, which no one knows really exist, but if you ever flick through your codexes and you see all of the pictures,
if you ever go through Warhammer World Hall of Miniatures, you often see signs saying this model is out for photography.
Yeah, they're there taking pictures for future codexes, sometimes years in advance.
Yeah.
Right, and setting scenes and telling stories and all that. Also, the army painters, and their job is different to Heavy Metal. Heavy Metal are a subsidiary of the miniatures department, so outside of his particular purview, or was when I left. And the army painter's job is to paint up, they might have, we're going to do an amazing thing with Imperial Fists, so you need to paint up 2 armies of Imperial Fists so we can put them in the photos, part of the photography department, right? And then you've also got if you ever open a codex and there's an incredibly talented guy called Marcus, he's in a punk band, and also best story for how he got a job ever, which was breaking into the Munich German toy fair to go and speak to Games Workshop representatives 30 years ago and be like, I want a job. He broke in, and that's just punk as shit, right? And his job is to make sure the actual design of the books is good. So that's all under Pete, right? That's Pete's job. Now, what's Pete's job is, or how Pete is measured, as far as I understand it, is how many books did we sell, and also how many boxed games did we sell, right? Again, their department, right? Yeah. So how many books did we sell? How many box games did we sell? That's effectively look how well we're doing. Yeah. So the health of the game, and because his department is judged different to how events is done, or marketing, or any other department, or trade. Each department has kind of a KPI, or these are how we're doing targets for how we're doing well. If you were to have a digital living book, you would be removing
revenue from that.
Yeah, you would be removing that.
Right.
Yeah. So what you would be doing is you'd be saying, hey, the only way that we could tell whether or not you and your department heads are doing a good job would be based on sales. But then, is our sales being generated more because the rules and narrative are better, or because the guys in trade are just kicking ass? Is it because all the guys in the stores are just really good now, and the guy who's responsible for training the guys who work in the stores is just way better? Is he better at the job, or is the actual product better? Right? So internally, the company have a massive issue with understanding how that they would approach that.
Because you could argue that the fact that you have to keep purchasing a £20 book at the end of every year alongside your codex and all that would dissuade people from actually playing the game in the first place. I'm not saying obviously it's the wrong thing to do in that situation,
but realistically, when you buy the book and don't buy the model, that department is happy because you bought the book, not the model.
Sounds like there's inter-department competition.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that they rob Peter to feed Paul, but effectively, what you're arguing for is you're saying, when you aren't dealing with it as a holistic kind of process, and it is a huge company, right? They posted £61 million profit yesterday or something crazy.
51 or 61, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. So effectively, it's a really big ship to navigate.
And it's a half-year profit, right?
Yeah, and it's also really tough to manage because who the fuck is responsible for saying, yeah, you guys are doing really well, apart from sales, right? And you say, yeah, sales is doing really well, so everything must be great. So where would be your benchmark? And I'm not criticising that's their benchmark. I'm just saying that that's their process.
Yeah.
I think in terms of chapter approved, if it's £20 a year, one-off purchase, let's say for everyone who plays 40k, if they did an app and they had £2 a month subscription, they'd make more money than that.
I'm not entirely sure that the issue is about payment. I don't really have a problem paying for the book. I have a problem with the fact that it feels like it's a bit outdated before it's even been released.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. If they had a subscription service where you pay £2 a month for however long you want to use it, and then they just build in their regular updates to it or whatever.
But then you could also add in an army builder service into there, the whole kit and caboodle, right? It could be, but. And I'm sure, because they've also got another issue looming far into the future. Digital printing, as in 3D printers, is not far off. As a production company, if you take Hagglethorne Hollow, which is a Kickstarter that's done recently, not only can you join the Kickstarter, but in the future you're going to be able to get the digital copy of your purchase. And then you can 3D print it at home if you have a 3D printer. So I mean, obviously that's
It does feel like we're running away from that though by just increasingly producing cooler and cooler and more detailed sculpts.
Well, yeah, and again, I'm not here to criticise the system.
No, of course, yeah.
I have an opinion on the system, but I'm not. In fact, I'm actually just saying this is what I think and how I think it works based on all my experience and time there.
What do you think of it?
What do you guys think of it?
I mean, I don't know if is this kind of relevant. Like when they released AOS 2, they kind of split all the rules into 3 different books.
They did.
That to me was just sort of like,
Agreed.
You've got to buy 3 different books to.
And then they told
edition.
people that they had to use all 3 sets of rules in match play.
Yeah, so
That's
so they're just pushing people to buy more and more books.
And at some point, do you think people might get fed up with that?
Well, I didn't buy 3. I bought the General's Handbook. That was it. And then friends of mine bought if I need to use a endless spell, I'll just get in touch with someone and say, do you have a copy of that War Scroll or whatever the rules for that?
Can I borrow your codex, please?
And I need to use the realm artifacts and things like that. Can I use my photographic memory on your book, please? And then just get the points that way. Because I'm not buying 3 separate books, spending, I don't know how much it costs to buy all 3 books, like 80 quid or whatever.
Well, so rather than charging like 30 quid for each book, you could charge, put out 1 book for 45 pounds.
You do have to understand the sheer level of financials for that. Like when you release a new, I haven't had an opportunity still to read the Orc narrative, and I really, really want to. So maybe someone can update me with that. But take Vigilus as an example.
Yeah.
Right. So Vigilus is a non-model based release. Although I think there are some models being released as well, right?
Yeah.
But Vigilus is a book with formations in, right? So they've Soldier Chapter approved. Yeah, it's got the points in.
Yeah.
But the formations for new power in competitive gaming. Now, if you're a narrative gamer, why'd you give a shit? Maybe you just want to read the story. But then that's included in Vigilus as well. So there's another book where you can get some more additional power creep via a sale. Now, I'm just saying that you more than likely are going to have to just continually deal with this process for probably at least a while longer, because there's no incentive internally in the company to produce a better system for you as a gamer. Because I was going to say, and this is unfair, they don't want you to have a better system. Because
that sounds really
because they want you to buy the books. Now that's unfair because I can't actually 100% say that that's true. Maybe they just don't have the capacity to think of a better system to do something better. But as it stands, I think that's the case.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts, though.
Yeah. Obviously, you can disagree about all you want. It's just opinions.
Huh?
No, it's just opinions. So it's like.
Well, my experience inside the company, that's pretty much how it works.
Oh no.
It's wooden dollars.
No, not that. Just my thoughts thing. It's like.
Yeah. Which is why I said it's unfair.
Yeah.
Because I can't ever say that I was in a meeting where that was the motivation. Right?
Yeah, of course.
But who was it? Someone said if the KPI is selling 1 million books, but it doesn't show those books are actually any good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We released a book, it's bad. We released another book to fix it, it's also bad. We get at least a book to fix the other book to fix the other book. Just bad. There you go. Sell 10 bucks.
But the FAQs are free online.
There you go.
And I mean that's something.
Yeah.
Right, that's at least a step.
Yay.
No, there's no axe from me. I'm just more trying to set everyone at home listening is like, oh, that is interesting. How would I? And maybe someone out there will come up with a kicking system, go to Games Workshop, sell them the kicking system idea, and then we're all better off. I think we would all be better off with a better living workbook, right? But then I also don't.
Well, the game will be better off.
Would it though? I quite like the meta balancing that occurs.
But it's not really meta balancing if you're balancing for a meta that was 6 months old.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I think the constant FAQ updates. That's what with Chapter Approved out now. As much as I hate the change to the fly word, the whole thing, if it just stays that way for a year, I'm golden.
Right, that's fine.
I would be chuffed because I could look at it and go, do you know what? Death Guard, they're okay. They can win 3 or 4 games at a tournament. I'm going to paint them up. It takes me 3 or 4 months to paint them up.
It's consistent, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good change. The question is, how do you want the game to look? At the end of the day, right?
Pardon me?
The question is, how do you want the game to look? In what direction you're trying to push the game?
Well, me, none.
Right. But it doesn't mean it's a good change. So, the entire, from my perspective, the entire intention with that change to the fly keyword was to stop the dropping down with the commanders and charging things, right? And they didn't fix it right at all. It doesn't mean that it's done well.
Agreed. I'm not. There's no.
Right.
I'm trying to be like real.
Yeah,
I think the changes to the fly keyword and that are dumb as shit.
I know. So it's not like, oh yeah.
I'd be shy about that at all.
So long as you don't change it for a year, it's fine.
What's hilarious about that rule is in Kill Team they've written a pretty good rule to get around that. And they wrote Kill Team before they released the FAQ.
It's the same team.
So they've already written the solution.
You got to remember though, those six rules guys, like they're working their balls off. They're doing Age of Sigmar, 40k, Kill Team, Shadespire, any box game that's coming out.
Warhammer Heroes.
No, that's a different
fiction thing.
That's a different company.
Yeah, that's an outsource. Yeah. So when I criticise some of the changes that are made, that doesn't mean I'm criticising the people making the changes. Like I've met Pete a few times. Really, really nice guy. That doesn't necessarily mean that like I have to think that all the changes made by that department are good changes for the game. No. And that's perfectly fine. We can disagree about that. That's all good. But also, like, there's also room to change that in the next one at the end of the day. So it's not really a big deal. It's not personal at all. I mean, those guys could do it extra. There's only 6 guys.
Yeah, no, well
done.
I would say
really
the only criticism I have. I've also met Pete. Pete's been nothing but a lovely person.
He's a lovely man.
The only criticism I have is because Pete being the head of that department, I think hire twice as many rules guys.
Yes.
Like just hands down. Like now that cuts away from his bottom line. Yeah. Because he obviously has higher costs now. Right. But better books would sell better potentially.
You're taking a gamble.
Huh?
You're taking a gamble on
Well, you are, but profits are up massively.
Yes.
Yeah. Profits are up all day long.
Yeah.
So just hire more staff to do a better job. Like you reinvest into your business.
Yeah, of course you do.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think we maybe strayed away from the points there, but I think it was a healthy conversation. Yeah. No.
But I think it comes from a point of we don't think the points are very good.
No. The points change.
But that's without like deep diving into it.
Yeah, we can always explain why we don't think the points are good by going into specific examples another time, but we haven't really had the time to, and we want to do it properly at the end of the day.
Yeah,
right?
Just so I can get the moan off my chest.
Go for it.
Yeah.
The point change that pissed me off the most is that Cultist went up from 4 to 5 points.
Yeah.
I feel personally targeted by this change because they've made this change because people were going 40 cultist, Abaddon, Veterans of the Long War, fight twice, shoot twice, recycle them.
Slanesh.
Whereas I was just having cultists as 10, screen and the battalion. So they've screwed me over for other people abusing the cultists.
They specifically thought of you by reducing the points on Raptors and Plasma.
Well, yeah.
So it's balanced you out.
So it's balanced you out.
Just fucked everyone else.
Imagine how much I can do with my extra saving on points on fusion pistols. I'm just laughing.
You'll have an extra troop.
This shit, like, do you know almost every other character went down 20-25%, yeah? Did a Shadow Seer? Did it fuck?
Eldrad went down.
Yeah.
See, it's such a stupid change. Eldrad was good. What are you reducing him for?
Oh no! Oh god! This can tell me Araman got cheaper.
Did he?
No.
Well,
I hope not.
I'm spraying Eldrad when I get home.
Oh God's sakes! Ixtab says, Nikos, I'm very sorry about your cultists, by the way. Especially when they release just such lovely cultist models, right, from in the Blackstone Fortress.
You know, it's like the same with Warp Talons. Warp Talons were super cool. They dropped rules, and the rules were.
Yeah. But Guardsmen, they're fine. Leave them.
No. Here's the thing.
They're fine.
They left Guardsmen and they made the AdMech battalion cheaper than the Guardsman battalion.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yes. And so that means you get the cheaper battalion with your knights and you get all the tricks with the stratagems.
You do.
Beautiful.
Good work, GW. Well done. Loki says, my 1750 point army from Heat 2 went up 120 points.
Oh, dear.
Sad. I know for a fact that all of my lists have gone down, which is nice. And then Jay says, at this point I'm happy that my Primaris came down, even if it wasn't quite enough. I will take it and keep on playing with them, which is great. And also Ixtab says, and I think this is the most salient point about the points, oh dear God, to make. He says, my answer is be a more discerning consumer. And I've got to agree with that inherently, because while that healthy conversation about the points we just had sounds like some bashing, it's because in some cases it's not a good decision. If you're listening to content providers or Games Workshop themselves about things that are bad and they say are good,
Ironclads.
Yeah, well, as an example, you need to be a more discerning consumer. If money is your issue, or wasting time is my major issue. Like when I buy a model, I buy it because it's cool, right? I'm like, this is cool, and I would like to use it in games, absolutely. And so my primary reason is to buy it. But I normally it's a conjunction of like, I love this model, and I love what it does in the game. Yeah, stick it together. Absolutely.
Put them in a box.
Yeah.
Make them have sex.
Yeah, I just shake that
baby
around.
is nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is wicked. And so that's what when I get to the tabletop, I'm like, this is awesome. This is exactly what I want to do with models that look awesome. Or even the narrative, like for instance, Kegarach and all the Laughing God.
And yet you're not playing it because the rules now suck.
Yeah, the rules now suck. But the thing that bothers me is if I was spending an inordinate amount of time painting something.
I have problems with this.
Well, like, so I at least always paint to a standard, and painting for me is a tax in the game because I want to play the game. That's the thing that makes me excited. But when they tell me something's good, and then I will never waste my time painting something before I play tested it a few times. I just won't bother. Like, my process is not buy the thing, build the thing, paint the thing, and then play with the thing and see if the thing's good at all. My process is now use a base. Play a game several times, and I go, this thing is worth buying because money's not something I have lots of. And then building and painting is the next time sink because that's more money, really.
I kind of do that.
What you do the?
I currently do the buy the thing, paint the thing, play the thing.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really play test my armies that much.
It could be on a shirt.
Because I'm more excited about, I want to do this cool army that looks cool and is fun and like has loads of plasma guns or is like Necrons.
Yeah.
And I'll build and paint it and then play with it. And then like, if it's shit, I'll like change the list or add new bits or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So I don't tend to play test that much before I paint and build. Like my orcs, I've
I
not played a single game with orcs yet. The only thing I've played with orcs is a game of Kill Team the other week. But like, I think by the time I play with my orcs, it'll be fully painted. That's the idea, anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Build the thing. Paint the thing.
Well, I bloody love the. I've got the Mecha Dread from Forge World.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's not good, but it looks cool.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I desperately want to play it.
It's like that Stomper with the dick. He knows. He knows.
He's a great model, though.
He is a good model.
Someone's done a cracking job on him. Okay, so I think we've done some fair talk about the points there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah.
So points.
Meh.
But we're going to do
Mixed
an in-depth.
reviews.
We're going to do an in-depth review of the points at a later date.
Yeah.
Winners and losers.
I may or may not change my mind, but I probably won't change my mind.
So I think the only criticism I have about the points is that everything didn't get reduced equally, but everything came down.
My main concern about the points is what they changed. So we've got different concerns.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, probably within that is what did they change?
Yeah. Why don't you like the points, Nikos?
Why don't I like the points? Just because where I've gained, I've also lost.
Oh, so they personally agreed to you.
Yeah.
And also where you gained,
personally.
everyone else has gained.
Yeah.
So basically, we all hate the points for different reasons.
Right, and then Mr. Capacity says, I'm more in Nikos' camp, buy and paint stuff I like the look idea of, and if it turns out to be doing ding on the table, that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. I just won't take it to an event. Mechadred could make a nice armies on parade board accessory, says Ixtab with a winky face, which I think is like a way of sticking the middle finger up at someone on the internet. So, Ixtab, I appreciate that. Fuck you. So, formations next. Gentlemen, ladies of the court.
Yes.
So formations are returning to 40k.
Yeah.
They did say, I wonder if the community articles where they said there are no formations. So far they made...
Well, also, another funny thing, similar to the point you were making, is that in the last FAQ, I think the title was, Soup is off the menu still, or something like that. And then was there a single army at the last heats that was not Soup?
I wasn't Soup.
You were the only one who wasn't Soup.
Well,
Ace
and
wasn't
every orc player.
Okay, so everyone apart from orcs had
Define Soup. Was that Eldar player apart from last round Soup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Anything that's not a single detachment, Soup.
Oh, I wasn't
Single
faction.
faction. Single faction.
Oh.
Single faction,
Scott
sorry,
wasn't
single
Soup.
faction.
So that means
So
all
the
of
majority of people were souping it up.
60% of my opponents had Soup.
Yeah. It looked like a homeless fucking shelter. Just super blankets being given out everywhere.
Canned food. Here's some canned pineapple.
And the herbalist says, whoa, my red knights were pure and single detachment. And then the Nogli guy, I was Eldar and I eaten soup.
The Nurgly guy was Eldar.
The Nogli guy's great, by the way, you should play him.
Was he playing Eldar?
Yeah, he says he wasn't. I wasn't Eldar, and I wasn't Soup, or I was Eldar.
Was he playing Nurgle?
He really has messed up the typing. I came 12th without it. Still don't know which. It's like getting your text, Tom, the other day.
Who came 12?
Don't worry, it's okay.
I could check.
He's going to read it out for me in 2 minutes.
He's going to type it again.
Yeah.
He's going to give it another
So formations returning.
No.
Please tell me.
They were shit in 7th. I abused them. It was funny. Don't, please. Thank you.
So do you know what they are? Have you read what they are?
I've seen the Wind Rider one. I've tested the Wind Rider one. It was AIDS. Never again.
Can't say that, Tom.
Oh, sorry.
You can't. There's none of your League of Legends banter chat on here.
My bad. No, I'm so toxic. I don't have a border.
Good, exactly. None of that. From
it was horrendous.
All right, good.
My mistake.
So explain to me what they are.
So I think it was like a reroll to wound one. I've forgotten it already.
Explain to me what formations are.
Oh, so it's like you take a detachment and then you can upgrade it to a formation for a certain number of command points.
Yeah.
And if you're a formation, you get access to certain special rules, certain war traits, certain stratagems, certain relics.
So it's a free resource.
Yes.
Because you have to pay command points for it, but you get command points anyway.
Yeah.
No, yes, well...
So you just get one less command point.
So let's say you take a spearhead detachment, and like it's an autarch on a bike and then 3 units of bikers. And that's you get 1 plus 1 CP for that.
Yeah.
Then you spend 1 CP to get the Wind Rider formation. Wind Rider host.
Okay, and does that 1 CP, does it give advantages that are like far and away?
It gives you access to stratagems, so it's just 1 stratagem, which is 3 command points, and you get rerolls to wound with all the biker units.
Okay, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. When you're firing 180 shots, hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, then rerolling to wound.
Alright, yeah.
So you get a free Doom.
I think
which isn't unit specific.
Well, it's not free because it's 3 command points, right? That's their argument. Their argument is, and I've watched a couple of review shows, FYI. So the from people who I'm going to be so. I took a thorough moral inventory recently, and I'm trying really hard to just present things fairly. From gentlemen and organisations who have already been given the codex ahead of time.
Wow!
And so
bastards.
Yeah, and so the concurrent argument or the concurrent thesis behind the presentation of this is that you are spending a resource in order to gain the bonuses, and that resource is command points, and the command points you won't have for stratagems later in the game. So there you go. That's the weird. I see it from every single source, but you know, I'll leave that to.
It's almost like that's the party line.
It's almost like that gets sent out in like an email. Here's your book. By the way, good points are.
This is why we did it.
So formations are going to be in Vigilus. So
Invincible or Invigilus?
I don't know. Is the problem going to be that? So I take my new Primaris super duper detachment with its extra super duper keyword with the super duper stratagem that's awesome. That I pay for through the nose with some command points.
Yes.
But then also in my army I have my really tiny AdMech detachment, which cost me nothing basically to pay for all that goodness.
It's either 163 or 169. I can't remember which one.
Yeah. So effectively, like CP as a resource is still problematic because Games Workshop gave per the first FAQ last year in February.
It's 164 points, by the way.
Okay. They gave everyone more CP. They were like CP for days, everybody. So which we had. If you go back and listen to our conversation about that, we did say that you're just giving away a resource which I assume the books previous to that and post that, in some cases, the stratagems were based on there being a limited pool of CP. You would assume they'd worked out
that you couldn't regenerate.
That you couldn't regenerate, yes. But they gave out more CP and then they could regenerate. Now they've changed the regeneration a little bit, but you can still. So
you can still stick in. So it's normally worth paying 164 points to plug in 5 extra command points.
Yeah.
It's like 30 points, 40 points.
Ixtab says they are not free regarding this, more than strong and stable at this point. Ixtab just sat behind this keyboard like, I've heard enough of this shit. Sorry, carry on. Where have you
got the point I was making. Oh, so you're paying like 32 points per CP. I'll say that. So you're saying, if you're saying that a CP is worth 32 points because you can get 5 for 164, you're spending 32 points for a formation.
Yes.
Are you really paying?
Well, I don't mind. I have an inherent problem, I think, with stratagems anyway, because I think that they really pigeonhole armies. Because, like, if like if I can just give, pardon me,
you build around the
build
stratagems.
an army towards to do a certain thing.
If there's a 40k player out there that doesn't build around stratagems, like talk to me, because I don't believe you're true. Maybe it's around the psychic power, but more than likely it's around stratagems, right? You don't just go, this is my army, and guess what? I've
got all of this plethora of
stratagems.
Like
these are my 4 stratagems that I'm going to be using. Maybe the only one that is indifferent to that is
Can you steal a cults?
No, Deathwatch.
Deathwatch.
Wait, Deathwatch uses a load of stratagems. Deathwatch uses a load of stratagems.
That's my point. Yeah. That's my point. They have an adaptable stratagem set as opposed to a preloaded stratagem set.
Swiss Army knife of Marines.
Yes. So I've never particularly liked stratagems because they really do pigeonhole armies. I feel like now that the formations are going to pigeonhole an army even more.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Have you seen any Grey Knights formations yet? Because I haven't.
No.
Because I was told Grey Knights would be good. I'm still waiting for it.
Their points drops, right?
Why does everyone care?
I think because they used to be really good back in the day, right?
And
everyone wants the glories days
Make
back.
my Space Wolves good then. They were the ones right alongside them. Make Death Cult Assassins great. I've got loads of metal ones.
Yeah, potentially. The special attachment doesn't give any direct bonus itself. It's access to more options, relic, warlord traits, and stratagems, says Elandril. And Zaradrin, there isn't any for Grey Knights.
Boo.
Why?
I'm still trying to work out.
Are there any for orcs? Speed freaks?
Mate, Paul's got Grey Knights, so...
Oh, right. Sorry, Paul.
I'm still trying to work out when the Grey Knights become great.
I don't think they're going to.
You mean it wasn't true?
He lied?
Always incorrect.
Always incorrect. So you get access to more stuff. That seems cool. More bookkeeping, but what for me also as a gamer, it's a little bit confusing because not only now do I have to learn about Eldar when I'm going to face them, but I now have to learn about the specific types of not just Craft World plus all the stratagems you've got, and also the fact that you can ally in both Harlequins and Drukhari. So I have to learn 3 codexes worth of stuff. I now have to learn about new
and Gennari,
sorry. So I now have to learn about 3 other codexes worth of potential formations that you could include in that army. Am I right?
Plus your own army, plus the new missions, plus the 2 big FAQs.
Yes.
Plus all the FAQs, but we skip those sometimes.
A lot of bookkeepers. A lot of bookkeeping.
Wasn't the main point of this edition that you'd be reducing the bookkeeping?
Well, so actually, I was actually going to touch on this. So, 8th edition at 40k. No longer will you see 2+ invulnerable saves.
We did get rid of that.
But we had it for a year. I had it for a year, and it was great. FYI.
But it wasn't dominated.
We'll need less books.
Lies.
Formations are gone.
Lies.
Death Stars are gone.
Lies.
Okay. Right, so, anyway.
Just trying to think of something that they said.
I'm still really excited about these missions, you know.
My Reapers
That's why we're aiming on a high, so don't leave us now, because we're going to finish on a high.
My Reapers are still a Death Star, thank you.
Anything where you can just
stack buffs.
You can stack buffs, that's a Death Star.
Yeah.
I stack a buff.
Stack a buff.
Stack a buff.
Shia LaBeouf.
Slani says, my demons only have 3 per god and some basic ones that keep getting nerfed. Yeah, also demons got when we did the demon codex, they had no stratagem.
They got a pamphlet.
They got a pamphlet of stratagem.
Because I remember coming down to watch you in the heat and I was just sat in the bar reading the demons book and I was done within an hour. Oh, this is a Bloodthirster. Yeah. Oh, this is another Bloodthirster. And that's the book.
Yes. Right, okay,
Bloodthirsters went down. Bloodthirsters went down.
Did they?
Yeah, they went down to 240,
did they
260.
Did they go down in wounds as well?
No, just points.
Or come back to me on the 9 wounds.
Oh, wait, I have a question for you. Did everything else also go down?
Yeah, I think
so.
Well,
not everything.
Wait, did orcs go down?
Huh?
Did orcs go
down?
No,
orcs had no changes. Grey Knights had 80% changes.
Wow.
Which is pretty massive.
Yeah, we don't have that many units, so I guess.
Yeah, like Core went down 40%.
Core?
Yeah.
That was in chapter approved 2017.
Yeah, but he now has gone down 40% in this version.
No, that was 2017. He hasn't changed in this version.
Are you sure?
Certain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What, did I read the wrong thing? Did you send me the wrong thing?
No, I think the right thing is for both chapter approved.
Oh, for God's sakes. That's a nightmare.
I didn't mention it, sorry.
Alright. Yeah, so like so there's been some sweeping changes, so everything's gone down. So Bloodthirster's going down is great, but also everything that wants to shoot or punch a Bloodthirster is also cheaper.
Sad.
Yeah. So Bloodthirsters are only something like 60 points more than a Demon Prince, but they're still garbage.
But Demon Princes can't be shot at.
Yeah,
So we haven't,
that's
again, we're going to have to do some like deep research, aren't we? Because it's a fundamentally, it's effectively a new edition of the game, right? That's like what Chapter Approved is. It's all new points, and it's all new missions. So, like, formations I'm against. Nay for me. Nay for me.
Get in the sea.
Pardon me?
Nothing.
What did you say, Nicholas?
I said get in the sea.
Get in the sea. You want to drown him in the sea?
Yeah.
Where are you drowning in the sea?
Yeah,
All the formations.
Oh yeah.
Formations. So anyone in the Twitch chat excited about the formations? Let's try to flip it on its head, play devil's advocate. Why would formations be good
For the game.
It will give understrength factions like a little bit of a boost to maybe make them a bit stronger.
So what you would
More
do is you
options.
would give a formation to Grey Knights and not give a formation to Eldar.
Yes.
Oops. I thought you said give a formation to Eldar and not give a formation to Grey Knights. My mistake, sir.
Okay, all right.
I hope Necrons have got one.
Huh?
I hope Necrons have got one that's like, you know, everyone gets +1 to the reanimation protocol.
Yeah, and also +2 wounds.
Yeah.
Has everyone already forgotten about the
+2 armor
+1
save as
to your
well?
the cover save stratagem from the big FAQ? Because
No.
I keep forgetting it's a thing.
I have not forgotten this thing. It's really like with the Primaris points reduction plus that. I know Tom, like you play a particularly high-end army. Yeah, but
I charge people and they die.
yeah, but like removing Marines out of cover is a fucking bitch. Like,
Yeah.
because they're cheap, right? Like everyone's like Terminators, and it's like they've got a 2-up save. It's like, oh no, but like you stick a Marine in the cover, you got a Terminator.
Run Horde Marines.
Like I'm thinking that. Like I'm thinking a bunch of, especially the bolter fellas. Like
The tactical Marines.
sorry, the intercessors. Sorry, not tactical Marines. Primaris ones specifically. Like they're decent.
I noticed this. Why do they have a Primaris Rhino that can't carry Primaris Marines?
I don't know.
The Primaris Rhino is just like a command Rhino.
It's a Forge World specific.
And it was,
not
yeah,
Forge
it was
World.
out-
Games
it was
Workshop.
out
Warhammer
before.
Warhammer World, yeah.
It's called a Primaris Rhino.
I know. My Brave Wing bikes might live past turn 2 and 3 now with the Swift Strike stratagem. Look, a trait of the Legion's book again, says the Nurgly guy. So yeah.
Love it.
Honestly, Knight's ability to count half remaining wounds for claiming objectives. Don't make me suit play the game. And then Mr. Kapowski says, I'm interested in seeing where it goes. I didn't have a problem with 7th edition formation, it's just the implementation and power creep. So all fair points. Let's talk about the exciting bit.
I haven't heard about these.
Missions.
The missions, the chapter approved missions, of which there are 6, allegedly.
There may or may not be 6.
There may or may not be 6.
Is that right?
And they are, gentlemen, called Beachhead. Yeah. Supplies from above, the 4 pillars, cut off the head, narrow the search. There's one I've forgotten. Narrow the search. And I maybe didn't do the last one, so we're just going to have to skip it. Right, so Beachhead. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Beachhead.
Yeah. I've written some notes, so I'm reading from these notes. So these are going to be written in note form. So a Beachhead, you place one objective marker in the center of the board. Then step 1. So there's some changes effectively to gaming now. So we'll do this in process. Step 1, we roll off Nikos. Yeah. I'm the winner. Winner picks the map deployment and adds another objective inside.
You pick or do you roll?
No, I pick. Oh no, I
pick by
I pick
rolling.
in the way that they've always said pick, which is roll.
Roll.
Yeah. So I roll the map, pick the deployment zone that I'm going to be in, and then I add another objective inside of it. That objective has to be 12 inches away from the objective that's in the center, and 8 inches away from any board edge. So depending on the deployment map,
At
it's
least
gonna
12 inches away, yeah?
yeah, at least 12 inches away.
Yeah.
Yeah. You then, Nikos, as the loser in this dice roll, you also, in your other objective, place another. In your deployment, put another objective.
Okay.
And then step 2, the loser, that was you, Nikos, you deploy your entire army. Yeah. And the winner deploys his entire army.
Hey, look, it sounds like 7th edition again.
Yeah. So that's a massive change. However, the loser, that's you, Nikos, you choose who goes first.
Okay.
Yeah, however, the winner, me, I get to seize. So you get to deploy, I get to counter deploy, you get to choose who goes first.
Can you
based on that.
Can he give you the first turn and seize?
No.
Okay.
There we go.
Why would you do that?
The style points.
I like that. Apart from this, I kind of wish they just didn't have the seize thing in there.
I don't think the C should be in there really.
Just do you decide who's like, the person who's, because the way they've set it up is so the person you can whoever deploys first can deploy knowing that they're going to get the choice, but then there's just that 1 in 6 chance that they're going to get fucked over.
Can I point out how brilliant this makes Phantasm?
Yes.
You deploy first, your opponent deploys everything. Nope.
Yeah. So that would be where you
Or even you go
units.
first and nope.
Where you redeploy units, right?
Yeah.
Good. All right. Just so people.
Eldar stratagem.
Yeah. So how do we feel about deploying an entire army versus deploying an army versus deploying an army?
Makes the games faster.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really like it if the seize wasn't there. Apart from the seize thing, I really like that.
I don't like it at all.
No?
That's fine.
I think there's no tactical acumen to it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, there isn't you can bait out drops or you can.
It's not the
design
same
this
as
to do that.
Yeah, it's not the same as sequencing, but there is some bits to it, which there's a little bit of nuance, but it's not. It depends. It's mainly based on terrain.
It's very hammer.
Yeah.
It's not subtle.
No, it's not subtle.
No, not at all. So I don't like it. That's me, but whatever.
I like it in terms of the fact that I feel like I said before, like the first turn problem. I think it'll get rid of that a little bit.
It speeds it up.
But I mean, like someone losing first turn.
Or even the second turn.
If you know that you're going to go first or second, you can do something about it.
Yes.
In this situation, rather than just deploying and then maybe getting the first turn.
Yeah, but it is very dependent on that dice roll, right? It's still a roll off basically to the first turn now.
Yeah, but if you're going to go second, well, I suppose if you decide once both armies are deployed, is that the thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it less then.
Okay. So there's that. Yeah, and that is FYI, ignoring placing the objectives because that is a Beachhead specific rule. That system of you roll off and then you pick deployment, and that system is for all the missions. So I won't mention that again.
And then you've removed sudden death, which is in the
and they have, and in all missions, they've now put acceptable casualties, so you no longer can table your opponent and win the game.
Sad.
Great.
No.
I love that.
Best change.
So hate one bit, love the other bit.
Hate this bit. Actually, all right.
Love the other bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Ixtab says it seems designed to mitigate the first turn advantage.
Yeah. I don't think there is a first turn advantage.
Wow.
I don't even believe in it.
coming out there from what
I think there is just in 40k, just because it's like all of my army goes and then you go. If the
missions
terrain isn't great, one army that's just a massive gun line or just has the tools to kill someone.
Also, if you've got the range, to affect something in the first turn, going first is a natural advantage.
Okay, I'm just going to make this point. If you're playing progressive missions, yes, it's a first turn advantage. If you're not, I think there's a big argument to be had for going second, especially if the terrain is quite dense. Because normally there's a way for you to hide your stuff, especially with the new stratagem, which is prepared positions. There's a way for you to hide your stuff, and then if you can hide your stuff well enough, you've got a really good advantage going into games 5, 6, and 7, going second. Because, right, how much stuff I got left on the board? Okay, how much do I need to plonk on objectives to win the game? Boom, boom, boom. Okay, if it ends now, I win.
That is actually a really, really good point when we go on to some of the missions, because some of them, because I've been trying to work it out, it's way more advantageous to go second just because of the scoring.
Exactly. So in this mission...
No, not in a flat field, but because the missions have been designed to do that, I would say.
Okay, so this mission, the victory conditions are, it's called push them back, and you basically get a number of points for standing on objectives at the end of your turn. So you get 1 point...
So, it's the start, from the start of the second battle round, and it's not at the end of your turn.
So at the start of your turn.
It's at the start of your turn.
So you need to walk a big horde into the middle of the board.
And then wait for their turn to be over.
And hope I don't kill you.
Yes.
Great. So
it's the start of the second battle round. You score points at the start of your turn.
Okay, I haven't read this yet.
And it's 1 VP for your home objective, so the one that you placed in your deployment. 2 for the one that's in the centre, which is always...
There's only 1 in the centre.
There's only 1 in the centre, so 2 VPs for that. And you get 3 victory points for your 1 in your opponent.
So it's like a tug of war.
So this is...
You want to be over a certain marker.
It's like some sort of border war.
It's like some sort of border war,
It's
it's a mission we played a lot before. So there's more. So if you've got an army that's got range and can go and attack, obviously that's.
Or you've just got a big horde, you can walk in the middle of the board and you're going first.
Well, like a good example would be
advantage.
orcs. Like so, to jump in a unit of 30 boys, right? So how to score? You have more models within 3 inches than your opponent. So being able to attack with your horde of boys, to jump, charge, win the fight, and consolidate onto the objective means you're going.
Well, here's the thing. I could even with the heat army. Let's say you're playing pointy Dawn of War. So that is, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's 15 inches in and 6 inches outside. All the orcs in the centre. Advance them up the front. Put the Waz bomb in the way. Right, clear that unit of boys. Good luck. If you do it, great. Here's another unit of boys. Because you can't get close to it.
Here's what I think in a mission like that, I'm just thinking of like what might be good. Space Marine Scouts might be good in that mission because you can advance deploy them. So,
but it's from turn 2. So you have a turn to kill them before they get points.
But in the first turn, your scouts just go, I'm in the way, and you can't necessarily get that blob of orcs.
40k players are going to have to start learning what it's like being pinned in your objective.
Yeah. Or it could be bad for you because if you stuck scouts in the centre of the board, you're giving someone a slingshot to charge onto the objective.
Well, if you have just like 10 scouts in a big line, they can only go so far.
Yeah, so
because it's quite small. 3 inches is quite actually small realistically for scoring.
So you have to be centre of the board. So let's say Dawn of War. I'm 12 inches in on the floor. I charge you, and you're 9 inches away from me. Okay, I walk up and charge you. That's 9 inches. I'm far from the objective. I then get a 3-inch pile in towards the objective, and then a 3-inch consolidate afterwards. So,
but by that point, I've got my second unit in there as well. So my second screen blocked you, and then the rest of my army is pulling up behind.
So we played this mission already a lot, Tom.
But I'm trying to work out how.
I
don't deny that you've played it, but if you have that authority, you need to be able to make the case using that authority.
Yeah. What we'll do is we'll go through it like later on. At the minute, we're just first reacting to the mission.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
We are going to attack these in like some detail.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But you are going to need units that can go into your opponent's deployment, right? So gun lines are going to struggle here.
I think the thing is more going to be because if you've only got 3 objectives, you can cast around one objective pretty well. And if you're losing that objective, you probably would have lost the game anyway. The contention should be over the middle objective.
Should be, but like it's quite a big swing getting them.
I just feel if you're going to be able to get the opponent's back objective, you've already won the game.
Yeah, I think most of the games are you focus holding yours, fighting over the middle. But if you manage to get your opponents, that's a big swing. That's a bit of a game.
Although not as big a swing in AOS, it's 4 points, not 3. So I think probably the smarter play is actually your objective and the centre objective, and then not bother. So I think I'd probably.
Have you seen the first strike thing?
We'll talk about it as we go through. Yeah. So, but that sounds quite cool, right?
Called it first.
They've even called it first strike.
You also can't. I've looked. I showed you guys. I've drawn out the deployment maps with where you can actually deploy your objective in your deployment zones, and because it's 8 inches from the board edge, it's actually. The 3 objectives are fairly close, realistically, so that you can't really backboard an objective, which is quite good.
You can still corner it though.
It has
to be more than 12 inches away.
But 8 inches away from a board edge.
Yeah. So it's still like here, and then the objective's here.
Yeah, depending on
It depends on who deploys the objective first.
Yeah,
because you might want to cast it, or you might want to play it far away. Like.
So how you score is you have more models within 3 inches in this particular one. And then I assume that troops override that. Yes. So troops are going to win that fight.
Yeah.
Slay the Warlord is back, or still here with one. It's worth 1 victory point.
Linebreaker 2.
Linebreaker is at the end of the battle have 1 model in the enemy deployment zone instead of a unit.
So that works with planes as well.
Yeah. And then finally, First Strike has changed finally. So it's destroy a unit in the first battle round. So that's back, and those 3 are in all 3 missions. Okay, that's 6 missions. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, are you happy with those 3? Are you happy with First Strike?
Yeah, much better. Yeah. Because he's not on a denial tactic based on who goes first with first blood now. Yeah.
Great change. I think that's a great change. I still like Slay the Warlord. I wish Slay the Warlord was in Age of Sigmar, if I was honest. I like it. I like the idea of killing the king. Yeah, it's just like fuck that guy. He's the boss. I love killing the boss.
You kill that power. Bang.
Yeah. Boom. Yeah, and First Strike's great. Linebreaker, I like that as well because it gives you something to think about late in the game, especially for a VP. Because holding on to your home objective is only worth 1. It's the same as doing that for a turn, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Interesting whether or not armies that really push hard and go super aggro forward are going to be okay with holding their back objective. Because something not really that big an issue for 40k.
I mean, if you parked 11 mech guns on top of it, you should be.
Yes, but for armies that are designed to dash forward.
But then you could potentially be making the handshake that you lose your home objective but take the opponent's one.
Yeah, and it's actually worth it to do so, but you're also then leaving yours free, especially like deep striking units, right?
Yeah.
And then the game goes on for 5 turns, 3 plus for turn 6, 4 plus for turn 7. Nikos, your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I wish it was just a flat 6.
Agreed.
I mean, I keep getting lucky on these turn 5 ends. So, I mean, I'll keep going with this one.
All right. Next up, the next mission is supplies from above. So, but overall, what do you think of that mission?
Fine, yeah, good.
Yeah?
Solid.
Good.
Yeah, I like it. I wish it was. It's very similar to Border War from AOS. I wish they still had the 2 wide ones.
Agreed.
Rather than just one middle fighting. So it's not just a big fight in the middle. You have to maybe split your forces a bit more. I'd prefer that, but then it would just be basically copy and paste from AOS. So maybe they wanted to do that to just not
give it a try.
Copy the same thing.
Well, I do also like that there's the variance of the 6, obviously the 6 deployment maps at the same time. So
I suppose
it's a really simple mission, but it's going to work really well because it's actually 6 missions because of the deployment, which arguably is better than AOS because it's
So I suppose they couldn't do the 2 because they've got the central fixed point is always the same.
Yeah.
For
which I think is actually really clever. I really like it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
And also, interestingly, you could play this on a non-6x4 board. I don't know if that's something you've noticed. It could be something you play on like a much larger board, which I think is quite cool. Or a smaller board. Right, next one, supplies from above. So there are 4 objectives in this one. They're 12 inches apart and 6 inches from the table edge. You roll off, and the winner places objective 1, and then you alternate. So loser objective 2, winner objective 3, loser objective 4. Then it's the same setup for picking the deployment map and deploying. So then whoever was the winner got to choose or roll the map and pick a deployment zone, and then whoever lost basically gets to go first or choose who goes first. Right, drifting on the wind, starting in battle round 1. You roll off for each objective. The winner, this is really cool, can move the objective up to 3 inches. Yeah. Now there are some stipulations. It can't be on top of models when it ends its movement. It can move over models, but can't be on top of models when it ends its movement. Nor can it move off of the board. So you do that for each objective, and you just move them 3 inches. Right, and then for scoring, you start at the second battle round, and you score points at the start of the turn. So during at the start of the battle round, you roll off and you move them. So if you go first, as an example, Tom.
Yep.
So like let's say Tom, you're going first, Nikos, you're going second. We're at the start of battle round 2. Tom's about to score an objective because he's on it, Nikos. You win the roll off for the first one, and then you move it 3 inches away. Means in his turn, he doesn't score. So there's a huge disadvantage for going first.
Or you just wrap it really well.
Well, there's that, but obviously whether or not you can, right? Well, I mean, there's a danger to going first, and going second is a little bit safer because you're going to be able to. No, there's not, because when you go second, the next battle round will have started, and you'll be rolling off to move them again. So at no point is it safe. You have to really hold your objective. You can't just kind of like semi-defend it.
Yeah, you can't just like put your toe within 3 inches.
Nudge it in. Stick your toe in 3 inches.
Yeah, so I really like this one personally.
Have you seen the victory conditions?
I have.
So if you can fly, you effectively the same as objects secured, so you trump other units. So the way this is worded is actually quite interesting because warp spiders, they don't have the fly keyword, but they can fly, which means I think they count for this.
Okay, I think that's a real out there case actually.
It is.
Let's be specific currently. Units with the fly keyword.
But there's already a rules question on this.
Yeah, so units with the fly keyword, overall, I've got a great rules question.
That's not what it says. It says, however, if only one player has models that can fly.
But in the wording, it's like fly is in capitals, or bold, sorry.
It's also in bold for warp spiders.
What, in their keywords?
In the rule for warp jump generator.
Yeah, that's weird.
Okay, but let's remove warp spiders for a second.
Yeah,
and let's talk about like what definitely is true. Yeah. In the units with the fly keyword, but not flyers, override for scoring. So it's like they have boots
units
on the ground.
That can fly.
Yeah, units that can fly. You're right. It's units that can fly, not Interesting. What if I have I don't think there are any spells or psychic powers or abilities. Is there anything that just makes units not be able to fly?
There's one that can make you fly. It's the Blood Angels one.
Yeah.
Wings of Sanguinius.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Interesting.
So that one and Warp Spiders.
Yeah, okay. But that's cool. So having flying units in your army, there's a bonus now. Obviously not charged.
Also, they made Warp Spiders cheaper.
Go boys. So you get 1 victory point for each objective you hold.
Yeah.
Yeah? And otherwise it's the most models within 3 inches. Yeah, and obviously you do have to get those flying units within 3 inches to even contest. And then Slay the Warlord, First Strike, and Linebreaker.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
Yeah, sounds interesting. I like the idea that... Do they move every turn?
At start of every battle round.
Start of every battle round, they move.
So but if
and
you're
you
going
score
second...
at the start as well.
Oh, yeah, sucks.
So yeah, there's actually... I was like,
do you alternate moving
not. Huh?
Do you alternate moving them?
You roll for each one. So there are 4 on the board, so you roll off for each one.
What happens? Do you score first or do you move the objectives first?
So it's at the start of the battle round, so a battle round happens before a turn.
Okay.
They haven't clearly defined that in this, but because it's effectively the same in Age of Sigmar and 40k, like battle rounds happen before a turn starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the start of first battle round, but before the first turn begins,
Yeah.
Cool. What's the next one?
Right?
Yeah, sounds interesting.
Okay, and obviously you start scoring at the start of the second battle round on that one.
Okay.
So again, I think it's really interesting that the first turn is just a lot of jockeying and moving around. They're assuming everything's not dead by turn 2, but that's fine. I like that one. I like the idea. That also, by the way, is going to annoy people because that's quite random, and so me winning a dice roll so you can't score is going to. I think that's going to leave some feel bads in people's but people are going to have to play for it
and play for board pressure.
Yeah. So then, scoring. Oh no, wait, sorry. Next one
for 4 pillars.
The 4 pillars. Right. So you follow. There's a map. Now there isn't a map there, but I'm going to make a map.
You've made a map.
Right. In my notes it says follow the map and place the 4 objectives. There's a long-winded way of doing it. Why they didn't put a fucking map in, I've got no clue. But anyway, so there are 4 objectives. It's the same way for just deciding where you deploy and how you roll off and who chooses who goes first. There's acceptable casualties. That's in effect.
Yeah.
So then you've got siphon power at the end of each battle round. End of each battle round. Only troops can score. Yeah.
Only troops.
Only troops can score, and it's the most troops within 3 inches. If you hold more objectives than your opponent, it's 1 victory point. If you hold all 4 objectives, it's 3 victory points. Yeah. However, there's also no prisoners at the end of the battle round again. Whoever killed this, they worded it really weirdly, but whoever killed the most units that battle round scores a victory point.
Units.
Units, yes. Yeah. Whoever killed the most units scores 1 victory point.
1 point.
So
it's ITC.
Yeah, it's very ITC. This mission, isn't it?
A point for killing more units, a point for killing more objectives, holding more objectives. ITC.
Yes, that is an ITC mission.
Interesting.
Yeah. But and also quite interestingly, the 1VP. I like it, but it means you're going to need troops.
Good job. Necron Warriors went down a point then.
Well, so if you just you would have to be the best killer for 3 turns over a troop-heavy army.
What if you just kill all of it, and then you say, "Well, I've killed for one turn."
You don't get the auto win.
You win 1-0 because they can't.
If you kill it all on the first turn,
yes,
then that's yes.
If you kill it all on the second turn, you've killed more stuff.
I feel like all of these missions will be defeated by that tactic
Killers.
of killing everything in the first turn.
Despite the it's not about just the first turn. So let's say if you kill it in the 5th turn, right? And you spent the previous 4 turns killing more units than your opponent because your opponent is dedicated to holding objectives. You've killed them.
He wins.
Yeah. No. He holds 4 objectives. So they're not going to hold all of the 4 objectives, for example. You're going to try and cut them off of all that. They're going to hold more objectives than you for 4 turns.
Yeah. They could potentially this is my point. There isn't the concept that you're going to just smash and win. Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
Is absolutely viable. There is a process for doing that, but there's also a process for just having troops.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not the point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to make is if your opponent spends 4 turns holding objectives, and you spend 4 turns killing them, you're 4-4 because you've killed more.
No, you're not 4-4. You're only 4-4 in the hypothetical situation where they're only held some and not more, and not all of them.
So you
if they hold all of them, they win. They scored 3 victory points. If they hold all of them, for 2 turns.
And I'm assuming that you're not going to let your opponent hold all 4 objectives.
Well, but what I'm saying is you're making a conclusive result based on an assumption. Yeah.
But anyone can draw a hypothetical situation.
Which is what you're doing.
Anything.
Which is
what you're doing.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm saying that there are several paths to victory here. There is, absolutely, like you pointed out, killing them for 5 turns and therefore scoring 5 VPs.
Yes.
Yeah. There's also the path to just hold all of them for 2 turns, which scores you 6 VPs.
I know, I'm just pointing out one particular path.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's the only path you can do.
Agreed.
And therefore the only thing you can do is kill them.
Agreed.
I'm saying that one thing you can do is you can just sack off troop choices altogether and just build something that's quite aggressive and go for this win condition. Say, right, I'm only better at achieving this win condition, but you're going to be achieving this win condition and I'm going to win the game through that.
And I think it's good that they gave you an option to do that in the
Oh yes, I'm not disagreeing with you at all.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think that was weird. But
yeah, but what I'm saying is you do need to be aware of troops because you might need to kill all of those troops to achieve that win condition, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So for armies that do like having lots of troops, like Orc boys.
Yeah. Yes. Or you just, for example, I think if you lose 4 objectives, if your opponent holds all 4 objectives, you've lost the game immediately. But there's a big swing between holding 3 and holding 4, especially if you're not building to hold objectives. Mm-hmm. So you can cut off the remaining 3 objectives and say, right, I've got a fire lane set up on this one objective and you're never going to take it. And then I can just play for that no prisoners win condition. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Yes,
you could, and that's what you're going to have to think about.
I'm not saying you will, I'm saying you could.
You have to think of all 5 missions now when you formulate. 40k players have never had to do this. I'm really sorry. I looked at all the 40k missions before. I'll give you an example. When I took Orcs to the Heats, a year ago, I was just every game I was like, I don't give a shit about the mission. You can't kill me. I'm just going to try and table you. That was every game I played.
I think there's a distinction between me and all 40k players. So Scott's a good example.
Yeah.
Scott's list doesn't kill anyone. Scott's list plays for mission and wins on the mission,
which is great. That it exists and is in there. But there's going to be more like that now.
Yes, but it's not all that guy.
No, it's not going to be
so
more.
It's not like 40k players in general just play Disable. So it does swing that way, and I agree with you. So at the start of the 8th edition, when you had Storm Ravens, everyone was just playing to table, pretty much. Not as I'm making it. I'm going in on a generalizing thing, which I'm trying to attack. You know what I mean? But it's always been kind of lists that build to kill everything are prevalent. Now lists that build to not die are prevalent. Now lists that build to kill everything are prevalent, and vice versa. It doesn't mean it's all the same way, but it's trends at the time.
I'm not saying.
I know you're not.
I'm helping people at home, and I'm saying that that's something that they need to consider.
I know. I'm just attacking all generalizing.
Good, but anyway, I quite like that because it gives. I don't think boots on the ground, objective secured, as it's named several different ways, ever really solve the problem of making an army look like an army.
Agreed.
Which is what you want, right? You want to be taking your intercessor squads, let's say, or whatever your troop option is, because effective. I'm not saying an army has to look like an army, but I'm sure Games Workshop wants armies to kind of look a little bit like an army, right? And 40k armies don't look like armies sometimes. They just look like a hodgepodge of stuff,
mishmash of 3 different things.
Stuff stuck together.
Do they look more like that in AOS then? Because I haven't really played much.
Well, you have to have a certain amount of troop choices,
right? Okay.
But what's nice about this is that there's because there's the combination of mission and army, which sometimes existed previously, but that is a huge element in progressive objective games, I found, where what you don't want to do is the mission where your characters are important with your army with shit characters.
Ascension, yeah.
There's one in this as well.
There's another one. Okay.
Yeah, there's one in this. So, but you don't want to face in that mission where you're like, my army's amazing, apart from my characters are my weak link.
Yeah. And
then go and play the mission where the characters are important and you're playing against Mortarion and Magnus.
I'm still not sure if this fixes the thing of making troops more prevalent and making it actually look like an army, because of soup. So when you were looking to put CP into your list, you just take the cheapest troops that you could. I think you'll do the same thing here.
Yeah, you could potentially,
so
but then they'll die quick.
They will, but it's dependent on how you build.
Whereas Necron Warriors, reanimating,
I think they still die quick, unfortunately.
The reanimation could be good in this particular mission. The troops are important because you can do sneaky things with reanimating them closer towards an objective and sneaking extra movement and things like that. But the same problem with Necron Warriors will just be they just will die because people will just focus fire. And it's even more in this mission because troops are important.
Yeah.
So you deploy your Necron Warriors, the next turn they'll be gone.
What's also cool about this, Tom, when
No,
you were talking about killing units,
Yeah.
is obviously like your number one. You can go for a different type. You can go for killing as much stuff as possible, but also you're going to aim for killing the troops. Right, the troops now are the prime target in this mission.
You're going the same point I was going to make.
Yeah, they just go in. You like
bang them in rhinos.
Well, oh, right. No, okay, you've got a slightly different. So the point I was going to make is, because these have now climbed up the food chain, if you overload your army with threats, now you have a choice to make. You either kill off the troops, so you can't actually even contest the first win condition of siphon power, or you go for things that are actually hurting you. So if they go for the troops, you've got the secondary win condition of the no prisoners. If they go for the threats, you've got the secondary win condition of siphon
it's a
power.
cool mission.
Yeah,
It's a cool
and the fact
mission.
we just spent ages just debating it.
Yeah. No, I like, but because I think this is a cool mission when you build your army list.
Yeah.
This isn't a cool mission. Like on the tabletop, it's cool as well.
Because usually when you're writing an army list for 40k now, when I'm thinking about troops, they're either cheap battalion fillers or they're like a screen. Whereas now it's like they're both of those things, but then also in this mission they're going to be scoring me. So maybe I need more or more survival ones. Maybe Marines, like when I'm writing my chaos list, maybe instead of 3 units of 10 cultists, I'll have 3 units of 5 chaos Marines, because they can sit an objective and survive better than cultists can.
Yeah.
Or they can go.
Tactical Marines are back, baby.
They are.
Oh, no, you've said it, not me. Right, okay, so that mission is the
Also,
4 pillars.
Custodes are screwed.
Which I quite like. I like that. Yeah, custodians will be good on this, right?
Yeah.
Won't be, or will they?
Solid.
Will be.
They'll be solid.
They don't have any troops.
Their troops are the invulnerables save.
Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, custodian guard.
Only Virtus.
It's going to be stood there in circles like, fuck off.
That mission is the only reason why I would take a guard battalion with custodes now. Not because I think it's good to have all the CP, but because of that mission.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting one. I think what you'll find actually is what people may build, and they're not going to build around just this single mission.
But you need to bear it in mind.
Yeah, but what people might do, it might be the difference between 120 boys and 150 boys.
Well, can you finish games with 150?
Well, yeah, but what I mean,
lad.
if you look at Tyranids as another example, like an army where you can put a lot of a troop choice down.
Plague Bearers, Gene Stealer Cults, and all the famous hordes, yes.
Yeah, so those troop choices are now an issue. And like Mr. Custodian Guard are great, 3 Guardians with Storm Shields. Like the idea that the troop choices are actually quite dangerous now, like it might mean that there might be a resurgence of armies, which is why I think you'll find that killing them is also viable. But there's people who go, do you know what, actually? Because that's a hard matchup. If you go, I wasn't planning on killing, like you said at the Heat, or there were loads that were horde armies and then one army built to kill hordes.
Yeah.
But what if that army built to kill hordes has to deal with like
Something
2 up armor save,
round.
4 up,
Yeah.
like 3 up invulnerable save, like troops.
The problem you then have is you have like 3 guys from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures chasing around an objective and wind button.
Yeah, which I'm excited by.
There you go.
Yeah.
Come back here, you.
Yeah. Right, the next one is cut off the head.
Oh my.
Yeah. So the step 1, is you allocate 3 intel points between your characters.
That already sounds complex.
Sorry, you allocate 3 intel points. Yeah, this is one of the things I'm probably going to say at the end is there's a lot of bookkeeping to these missions, but anyway. Allocate 3 intel points evenly between your characters, or it says as evenly as you can.
So someone knows the information.
Yeah, I was a bit like as evenly as I can. I put them all on this guy.
suppose-
It's like, well, no, you meant to do it evenly. I was like, this is evenly as I can. Yeah.
I'm not very good at maths, okay?
Yeah.
That's as even as
I have 1 character.
Anyway, so allocate 3 intel points between your characters. If you have no characters, your warlord just gets 1 intel point. Yeah. So then, step 2, you place an objective marker in the center of the board.
Okay.
So then you do the normal system for rolling deployment and who goes first, and then you've got always acceptable casualties, so everything can die, and that's fine.
That's okay.
So you've got 2 special rules. You've got crucial intel, which is starting at the 3rd battle round,
Okay.
and at the end of every battle round after. So it's at the end of the 3rd battle round, and at the end of every battle round after. And this is why I think there's a lot of bookkeeping, because each mission's quite like starts in the 2nd or anyway. You get VPs equal to the number of intelligent points on the board or in transports, because, and I think they've said in transports because inside transports usually means they're off the board, right?
for like rules purposes, like buffs and things like
exactly.
I'm not. Yeah.
So, and all the Nurgling guy says the Nurglings will return because troops, and fuck yeah, Nurgling guy. So, effectively, if you've got all your 3 characters alive, at the end of turn 3, you'll score 3 VP.
So, Collectus Assassins.
Yeah, so you can, like, if you keep your 3 characters alive, turns 3 to 5 and the game ends, you'll end up with 9 VP just for doing that. Okay. But then you've got Transmit Intel, which is starting at the second battle round. From the second battle round, you score 1 VP if there are more or the most characters, so if your opponent has characters with intel points that are within 3 inches of the objective.
In the centre of the board.
And there's only one objective, it's in the centre of the board.
Okay.
So basically, it's a Royal Rumble between your characters in the middle of the board.
So Collectus Assassins.
Yeah.
Well, it is, like...
Are they characters?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
But they're really good, so they're 6s to hit and they're characters.
Is it just to hit all the time? Or
Yep, buddy.
In combat as well?
Yep. 4 plus an honourable save, 5 wounds. 85 points.
Are they the ones that are anti-psycho as well?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
They're insane.
So yeah, that's how you win this. So
keep your characters alive.
So it's board
and
pressure
have
again.
them knit in the middle as well.
It's board pressure again, but with specific things.
yeah, very specific. And this is what I mean about where it gets interesting with all the different missions, because there's no other way to score in this. Yeah, there's nothing
Apart from Slay the Warlord and that.
Well, yeah, so with the 3 VPs available for Slay the Warlord, which if you Slay the Warlord, you should be able to get an intel point. But if someone's smart, they'll put an intel point that's not on the Warlord, right? Because you kill the Warlord, but then I get to keep an intel point on the board, which is important.
Yeah.
And my Warlord more than likely will be doing a lot of buffs and bonuses. So.
Yeah, maybe.
And you got First Strike and Linebreaker. So this one's really interesting. Again, at the list building phase, because... like, I've got a character, so I only run 2 characters. Cool. Now, one of them's got 2 VP, and the other one's got 1, and actually, one's my Warlord. That's actually, I don't want them to die.
You can put these on knights.
You can put these on knights, absolutely. And then but then they have to go stand on those objectives.
Yeah, and then they can get shot.
And they can also get shot, right?
Yes, they can, yeah.
So I think it affects knights actually badly.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is poor for knights. I think it's also really poor for all of the armies that use the special wombo combo character. He's got the Warlord trait, he's got the special fucking armor, yeah, and he's got like 9
fucking armor,
yeah, or whatever he's got, yeah, and he's just like, this guy is going over there and he's going to fuck you up. It's like, well, actually, has he got any of the intel points?
That's what I want. I want him over here.
Exactly.
Put Bobby G in the centre of the board. He's there for 2 turns. Enjoy.
Well, I mean, it's great on things like Celestine and Bobby G, obviously. But it does mean at the list building phase you have to say to yourself, do I have a character A that can get to the middle of the board? B, or if I'm not going to play that way, am I going to play the evasive mode? And that's fine if you play, I'm going to have 3 assassins hidden in buildings at the back of the board for the entire game. That's cool, but what if they have something similar but they just plonk one of them into the centre?
In the middle, scoring that extra point a turn.
What if you take 3 Vindicare assassins?
Just keep shooting all game.
That's
good, but then how does that... But then you build into this mission, but then the troops and the fly. And that's what I really like about it. It's actually quite a broad scope.
Versatile enough.
Yeah. Is your list versatile enough?
Exactly,
yeah. And there's no other way to score this, right?
Nope.
And that's fucking interesting, I think. I like this one.
Yeah. I think you might even sack off the centre of the objective.
What, and just go
go for the 9?
Go character killing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tied. It's 1 point.
Yeah, and it depends if your army has like Mr. Capacity saying, loads of cheap utility characters, because like lots of characters in the game, and don't forget, loads of the characters got cheaper now when chapter approved. So like, are there going to be a bunch of is it going to be a bunch of hero hammer? Right? Is there just going to be loads of characters like duffing each other up?
Space Wolves.
I think
Virtus Praetor bike things.
The guard Kuros Aquila guy just got better because he just basically sits in the corner, doesn't he?
Yeah, now he's really
What's the smallest character model in the game?
Just hiding. Well, do you know what's actually really interesting? Do you know what our small character models is? The 2 rattling characters from Blackstone Fortress. They have the character keyword.
We found a use for them.
Yes, we have. They just stood there like that. they're a single unit, so I think that they would only count for one. But they can go score that point quite easily because they.
And they got sniper rifles, so they can be shooting the other characters.
Yeah.
Seer Council.
Yeah, Ryan and Rouse.
You can have a Seer Council. Put free in the Seer Council.
You could potentially have like someone who's just like, I'm just going to go kill characters and just like snipe all your characters out.
That'll be me. Yes.
I mean, Shieldbreaker missiles are going to love this. Yeah.
Hey, look, the Castellan's still okay.
Yeah. And then he's also a character, right? But what's interesting is you don't score till the third battle round for those VPs on the intel characters.
So you keep them in reserve and then just drop them down.
I mean, you could do that, and also, and what I think is really interesting is those knights. If they haven't tabled you or winning the game, they're losing maybe 1 or 2 by the second round. So they might not be there to have points later on in the game.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's actually quite a big deal. I think that mission's good. I like it.
I do like that mission.
But it's going to be hard. Some armies are going to not have the character fortitude or like the character.
You need to be very careful how you build your lists.
Yeah.
Whereas previously you could go for the I don't care what the mission is, I'll just kill you.
Do you know who will be great? The Solitaire. Just stood there like that.
You mean Harlequins will be good?
No.
Okay.
Because you'll have killed everything by the time it's worth it.
Doesn't matter, mate. We've got acceptable casualties now.
No, but I still won't have scored if you said.
This is my point.
Yeah. In that one, right, narrow the search. Right, you place one objective in the centre of the board. This, by the way, is PUBG. Get ready.
Do all of these missions have? You will place one objective in the centre.
Well, no, some have more, right? Because there's been one with 4, there's been one with 3.
Yes, but there's always one in the middle.
I actually think this, as I was reading through, I actually think that it's because they've written missions which are available to be used on adaptable size boards. Right, which I think, like, I'm not saying that they're going to move away from 6x4 boards, but
they're going to move away from 6x4 boards.
No. I'm just saying, look at these missions. They're specifically worded and written for being unusable.
So now you can play on your nan's carpet.
Well, like, this is only coming to me now, and this is me having a conversation. Games Workshop and the ITC boys are like in bed with each other. Yeah, they see each other's socks, they buy each other Christmas presents. You know, they cuddle all day long, right? Problematically, and because we're running the League of Nights and we're really excited about it. 6x4 boards are a bitch to move around.
So change the entire game.
Yes or no, Nikos?
Depends on the setup.
It does depend on.
Depends how swole the individual carrying the boards is.
Exactly, but like, let's put it this way: if it's 4x4 boards, I can put like a third more people into a room.
Oh, is this their master plan?
I'm not saying it is. I'm just like literally right. Like this is my gossip guess.
Okay.
Anyway.
Already I don't like it. I don't want to play 4K.
I don't like my Shining Spears being able to move off the one edge of a board, off the other edge of a board.
I'm not for it. I'm just saying.
You can play on 4x4. You got like things like knights with like a range 72 battle cannon.
Well, you already have
unnecessarily long.
You already have models with 180-inch range guns.
Yeah. Is that a basilisk?
Yeah. There's a ton of stuff. It's just like this can shoot 2 tables away.
Unnecessarily long, isn't it?
I'm just saying it's a guess. We'll see if I'm right. I reckon 5 years. Most games.
I hope so.
Most Games Workshop in-store boards are 4x4. Narrow the search. The mission. Yeah. So you place one objective in the centre of the board. Be that a 6x4 or a 4x4 board.
Or a 1x1 tile.
Or one tile.
The size of my thumb.
The winner picks it. So you do the normal thing for rolling off, so he goes first to map. Yeah. So, special rule, no field. No invuln saves are available within 12 inches of the objective.
Oh yeah, this is the funny mission. I like this mission.
Yeah. So there's that.
Okay.
And
that's a rather minor detail.
Yes. So there's acceptable casualties, right? Yeah. So same thing. And then zeroing in. End of each battle round. So imagine a PUBG circle. Yeah. End of each battle round. 1 VP for whoever controls the objective. You control the objective by having the most models in battle round 1, 18 inches. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's the end of each battle round. So it's advantageous to the person who goes second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also more likely to be shot while you were in the circle. Because if you're outside the circle, you're already dead in PUBG.
Exactly. So you have to move into the circle to hold it, and so you go first. I move into the centre because I want to hold it. Then my opponent goes, "Fuck all those guys in particular in the centre," and then move in.
Oh, mate.
But it gets smaller. Battle round 1 is 18 inches, and it gets 3 inches smaller. Battle round 2, it's 15 inches. Battle round 3, it's 12 inches. And then, obviously, at that stage, you're within 12 inches, so you have no invulnerable saves. And then, battle round 4, 9 inches. Battle round 5. Interestingly, battle round 6 is 3 inches. Battle round 7 is 0 inches.
So stood on it.
So I think you have to stand on it, which I laughed at. I was writing it out. I was like, have they made a mistake?
Can I point something out here?
Yeah.
At the end of each battle round. So whoever's going second is going to fuck someone's shit up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah. If you go
Love
second,
it.
Yeah, demons aren't going to have a great time with this.
No.
Nor are Eldar.
Yes.
Invulnerable saves?
Don't need to, just kill him.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
It does, but I do think at some point you're gonna need to
Also, you've got the speed, so what you basically, it's not about living, it's about having more on the objective at the time, right? So if I'm going second, and I've got 3 Wind Rider jet bikes, and I've got a squad of 6 Wind Rider jet bikes, and I kill my opponent's unit down to 5, I'll stick the unit of 6 Wind Rider jet bikes on there, knowing full well they're going to get shot off, but I held that objective.
But what if they're troops, Tom?
Are they troops?
No, but troops naturally, so normally it's more models within 3, but troops are always going to override
Shoot
that.
it.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to shoot the troops. But then what if they're inside a Rhino or 3 Rhinos, right?
Deep Strike had unit of 20 Guardians on it.
You wouldn't score if you're in a Rhino, would you?
No, but I'm just saying, there's you
They're
shoot.
waiting, ready to go.
Yeah,
Because most troops units are pretty papery, right?
I just
I think Death Guard are going to be pretty good though.
Death Guard and Plague Bearers. But Plague Bearers lose their invulnerable save, though, that's the thing.
They still got the disgustingly resilience.
They do, but then so rather than it being a 5-up followed by a 5-up, it's just a 5-up.
5-up, yeah.
Yeah, which is sucks.
And this is why I think it's going to take a long time to look at the points, because
I'm loving this so far. I'm really liking these missions.
yeah, these are so good. Anyway, so it gets, obviously after battle round 3, you're going to be in the area where there's no invuns available. So let's talk about some armies. Obviously, drastically.
Does it get rid of quantum shielding?
No.
Good.
Does it get rid of wave serpent
A
shields?
buff to Necrons.
It's not an invulnerable save, so no.
but it obviously does get rid of all of the Eldar invulnerable saves.
You mean the Shining Spears?
Also Talos.
Oh yes, there you go. I don't care about Talos. Fucking have them.
Shield captains.
Shield captains,
That's what I have.
Smash
them.
captains.
custodies, Calexis assassins, any assassins.
This does affect
yeah.
Talos, but I don't think. The Calexis assassins
Rax.
you'd probably be holding off. Rax as well. Rax would be walking in. So Dark Elvis does damage 2. The Calexis does the damage 2. The Smash Captains, I don't think this changes too much, because the Smash Captain's role was never to go into the middle of the board and stand there. It's to assassinate its particular target, right?
Yeah, but all the targets are going to be in the middle. Like, if you're smart, what you do is the first turn, you run up just outside of 12 inches of the centre of the objective, but within the 18 inches. Yeah. And then your opponent is like,
So in my opinion,
I have to charge through the deadly field.
So my opinion there would be you're not charging, you're shooting.
yeah.
You're building an army that's specifically designed to just kill as much stuff as you can before it can get onto the objective. And of course, this is with my aggressive, I'm going to shoot you off the board kind of playstyle, right? I'm not saying that's the only way you can do it, but
I think there is going to be many different ways to do it.
fast, shooty army. Bang. Elba.
Yes. Good.
Orcs are fast and shooty, aren't they?
Orcs are fast. Well, they're fast in one section and they're shooty in the other section. Eldar are both in everything.
Yeah.
But
There is other armies though, Tom.
But none of them do
Like,
that.
and everyone
None of
listening,
them
and
do
everyone
that.
listening, and everyone listening is going to hear about every other armies affecting this mission, with the exception of just Eldar, and I will shoot them. Like they will. It will become.
I wonder what my playstyle is.
It will become dull to have this conversation in that vacuum.
I will shoot them.
When we vote to get rid of all Eldar just from the game,
Strong and
that'll
stable.
solve all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A strong and stable 40k environment.
I actually really like this. I think it's going to affect demons really negatively, and anything that does have invuln saves as their primary.
My
olive
bloodthirst
wings.
has got even worse.
Huh?
My bloodthirst has got even worse.
Thousand Suns are gonna. This is gonna be a toughie for them, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're not overly shooty.
Especially with the cultist points increase.
Yeah.
Harlequins.
Yeah. Tau. Zemini's
Gotcha,
makes a good
nice
point. Tau will be looking sadly at these centre objectives from their gun line, being like,
yeah.
"That's
Send
so
in the
far
Groots."
away."
We'll take a draw.
Yeah.
Send in the
Necrons.
Groot.
They're not really vulnerable to reliant, but the problem is when we get close, they end up getting charged and die.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Scarabs would be useful for that. But they're
Screens.
I think that's the thing Necrons have. They don't have a cheap screen. Like every other faction seems to have access to.
I do love the concept though of just being just outside of the 12-inch null zone. Yeah. and then just sitting there with your army, and then like for the first 3 turns, your opponent being like, well, if I'm going to charge you, I have to charge you in the zone of.
Yeah, I like the idea of having things that you just send in to hold someone back, so they can't get as many models in. So you have to commit less each time to
Scouts again.
Yeah, scouts or like berserkers that I was
Nurglings.
Just anything that could just get there turn 1 or 2 early and just block your opponent getting as close to the central point as
orcs
possible.
in general, actually, because you end up just walking up and you can advance and charge him a second turn with a war, which is fine. But it's just whether or not you can cling on with the.
I mean, this is actually quite good for. This is quite good for Marines because they generally don't rely on invuln saves.
The only
rely
way
on their good armor.
Yeah.
I still don't. Yeah, but they rely on it to little effect, which is the main problem. And the thing is here, so the only way you can score is with this zeroing in thing, right? So if you hold this for 3 turns, you're probably going to win the game, right?
No, so there's also Slay the Warlord, First Strike and Line Break.
Yes, of course, but it comes back to the same discussion we're having about the other mission, where the only win condition was this.
Yeah.
Right? So if you take those out of the equation for a second, if you hold it for 3 turns, you do it. Can 90 boys sit on that without an invulnerable save for 3 turns?
So what's interesting is for the first 2 turns, you can sit within the scoring field, but outside of the no invulnerable save field.
Right.
And it's only on the 3rd turn. And it's at the end of that battle round. So if you're going second with orcs at the end of turn 3, you could effectively have scored with your 120 boys. Let's say they've not assume they've not been murdered early. You can just you're in a really solid place.
Yeah, and even then, so let's say you lose a bunch of orcs from one unit, you can tide them, and jump them back into the center again. So you've basically got 120 boys. They can probably stand there for 3 turns, probably even 4. Against most opposition.
They'd be good in the troop mission as well, but they struggle a little bit in the mission where you need characters because, like, unless you put a big beefy character in there on purpose, generally their characters are support characters.
I'm not sure you do. It depends on how you build it. Because and when I say build it, I don't mean the list. I mean how you build your kind of brick that walks across the board. You need the big mech in there anyway, right? You need the weird boys in there anyway, right? You've already got the characters, and they're very well wrapped by these 90 to 120 boys. So you've still got to kill all of those boys to get to it. I know the boys aren't personally scoring, but they are enabling the scorers. So you can just walk back into the middle of the board and go, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, interesting for Death Guard, I think, as an army. Like their good discussion resilience and armor is not too bad, and obviously they've had points drop. Again, it's good talking about the missions first before we go and talk about the points. Yeah. But how does this affect some of them in some ways? That's the issue.
Also with Death Guard, that makes a poo bomb a lot more viable. Because you've got no invulnerable saves, so you just go,
right. I mean, anything that removes invulnerable saves is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely.
Death Hex as well. You can plug in a Death Hex to just target a unit and take something out.
Yeah. Or like you could take Null Zone in your Marines, and now you've got that zone and you've got Null Zone.
The only problem with that one is you have to kind of sacrifice the character, where the Death Hex is a little bit more reliable because it's a point and click.
Yeah. There's going to be some good stuff.
Yeah.
There's going to be some good stuff. So I really like that mission. But it is a Royal Rumble in the middle.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't necessarily like. It's a cool concept with the shrinking thing and the getting rid of the deployment zone. I like that, but it is just a big of a big.
I do feel like all of these are kind of a Royal Rumble in the middle, though, to a degree.
That's where you put the objectives, though, right?
Well, a lot of them have objectives in the centre, which you're going to be fighting over.
Not the last one.
I haven't seen
sorry, the one.
Two
Sorry, not the one where
2 and 3 have 4, don't they? That you not
the
necessarily.
4 pillars is different and is not.
The 4 pillars, you are correct, it is.
Yeah.
But so you've got that one, which is like one in my deployment zone, one in your deployment zone, that we're fighting over the 2 points of the centre or what have you. You've got a lot of these objectives that are the swing objectives. The easiest ones to get out of ones in the centre. So that's where you'll be just having the Royal Rumble again, right? So.
Right, and then so vital intelligence is place 5 objective as per the map. Again, I'm just going to make a map. There's a map.
Is there a map?
They're not in the book, but they should be on the map. Yeah, roll off. Right, the winner numbers the markers 1 to 5. This is really cool, but again, more bookkeeping. So the winner rolls it, and then you roll off again, and then you do the normal thing for picking deployment zones and deciding who goes first. Right, capture the data at the start of each battle round. The player who went first rolls a dice.
Okay.
On a 1 to 5, that objective of the 5 objectives is activated.
Oh no.
On a 6, all of them are activated.
Okay.
Yeah. Now scoring
is that a mission roll, so you can't CP?
Yeah, you can't re-roll it. So scoring at the end of the battle round. So you score at the end of the battle round, so not your turn, the end of the battle round, so between both players. The objectives are worth 1 victory point each, and then active objectives are worth 2 victory points each.
So that's going to make Dad Jump hella good.
Yeah. And then you've got Slay the Warlord, First Strike, and Linebreaker.
Be fast, boys.
So it's just you alternate placing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't alternate placing them. No, they're deployed via a map.
Oh, via a map. Oh, okay, I see.
They're deployed in a very specific set of ways.
Spread out across the board then.
Yeah.
I like that because, you've got to...
It's all around.
You've got to be agile, moving about, spread out.
Also, you score at the end of the battle round, so it, again, advantageous to the person who goes second.
Yeah.
So 2 or possibly even 3 of these missions, 2 of these missions are hugely advantageous to the person who goes second.
Unless the first person can block off. But then it's entirely RNG based on what objective you roll, right?
Well, what I more mean is, so let's say
I agree with you. I agree with you, though. Effectively, if you go first in this mission, you have to put your balls on the line and be like, "I'm here, I'm holding this objective," and then
hold.
Hold.
You're the defender, the person going second is the attacker, which sounds weird.
Yeah, effectively. So that's I think that's quite cool personally. And I mean sometimes it's just gonna. I don't like Maelstrom missions. I've said this before because of the cards. And again, this is another random thing. Just like we saw before, but it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like it when it's going to be 6. It's like ding, 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 ding. We're all
everybody go.
Yeah, because I mean, in that single turn, you could score 10 points.
It's like drawing domination on the perfect turn from a Maelstrom deck, which is hold 6 objectives for 6 points. Way.
Yeah. So I actually think that's really solid and really cool.
Yeah, those are cool missions. I like those.
Yeah.
Linebreaker, Slave Warlord, First Strike again. Nice. Is that all of them?
I think I missed one, but I haven't written a note on it, so we're just going to leave it for today.
Fair enough.
I think so.
I think we've got Vital Intelligence, we've got Rare Research,
we've done 6.
Cut the header.
We've done all 6.
3. 4,
yeah, we've got all of them.
5, 6. Yeah, nailed it. So do you think, in total, having heard them all, do you think those 6 missions balance the game?
No, but I think we're better than Chapter Approved 2017 by a mile.
Yeah, they're way better.
Because they're actually written well.
They are.
Yeah, each one gives you a different challenge. They're not just at the end of the game score points, which encourage you to just kill first, ask questions later. Yeah, they've all got a different number of objectives, which is cool. Different way of scoring them. I like the character one, and that's pretty cool. Gives you a reason to take snipers, which I don't know if there was before, really.
Unless you're Eldar.
No, Mr. Kowalski.
Yeah. My favourite one is. I think I'd need to have a bit more of a read them to decide my favourite. Yeah. But my initial favourite is the 4 Pillars one, the Troops one.
I like the Beachhead one. Let's be honest. That looks like fun.
Which is your favourite?
Beachhead.
I like the character one.
Yeah.
I think the character one is like, ooh, toughy.
That's cut off the head.
I think they were always the same, but usually within 3 inches. I think that. Do you guys think that benefits combat armies because it's quite a small little area?
Yeah.
Because combat armies can go, run, charge, and get on objectives, and also if you're on there, someone goes near you, you've got to fight them.
I think it's Tom, you look like a mad scientist right now.
Yeah.
You are like.
Mate, I have just finished the school term today. And it's
Congratulations.
And it's the longest term of the year, and I'm just like, nah. I need to go Christmas shopping tomorrow. It's gonna be good.
I think you're right, Nikos. I think like they force units to be a lot closer with each other, like and armies that have traditionally held off quite far are going to really struggle. Just on my initial reading of it, because they have to because there aren't other options available. Like actually working out, I need to get points is going to be a big deal.
Cut off the Catacomb command barges could be alright now.
I think they could be really. I was just thinking about it when we were looking at the character one. Which one was that?
And also the fly one as well. No, that's cut off the head.
Oh, cut off
the head of the character one, and then you've got
because you could be really sneaky with your Catacomb command barge in this one. Because if you give him some intel, let's say you give him 2, you could use them as bait. Because you can go, oh no, my Catacomb command barge. Oh no, you're going to go kill it. Your opponent puts a lot of resource to killing him, and then you've got that stratagem where you can come back again, and then you can run away. So you could bait your opponent into a bad position to try and kill that character, and then run away.
And they'll be worth 2 points
pounce
as
at that
well,
point.
Yeah, we might see a whole bunch of different resources, like different armies, warlord traits, relics, artifacts. Like, it's quite nice as well, because it actually feels like previously I didn't think that there was any validity to go into a GT heat, because I thought the missions were so like dog.
They're pretty dog.
Yeah,
those came from a GT heat.
Yeah, like I didn't really think that there was any tactical acumen in actually attending those missions. All you're actually doing was turning up to kill your mates.
Yeah.
Well, kill the people. I actually think now you can write lists and have ideas because of these scenarios. And I think in most of the cases, because in 2 of the missions you at least have such a massive advantage to go in second, that I probably want to design an army that doesn't want to go first. Although I don't really get much of a choice.
And it ensures you in the process of, well, even if I lose the roll-off, which is technically winning the roll-off now,
yeah,
I've got a backup plan.
Yeah. So I think it's really good, and I think actually, like, going back to list building before, like, you have to build around these 6 missions, and I'm quite excited, like, because the best thing about AOS is just playing out the core book missions. It's just cool. It's just like, done. I'm cool. I actually think that there's a viable game here. Which previously there wasn't a viable game. You had to go to 2 other different communities for a different game.
Yeah.
And now I don't think we have to.
Yeah, I think it was a 3rd game.
Yeah. They've put a dog in the race.
Yeah, and they finally entered the race.
Yeah.
It's like,
we thought we'd let you guys play Warhammer.
It's like with the greyhound racing, and you've got like one that's just distracted or something. It's just like up there.
I mean, it has taken 2 different books. This is the 3rd book that they've done with missions for you to.
Yes.
Yeah.
3rd time lucky.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. Anyway, I'm still as excited. To repose the question before, running a tournament now, I was going to go 3 chapter 18 missions and 2 chapter approved 17 missions, but I'm better doing all 2018 instead. Yes, I would say only do 2018.
Yeah.
And my reason.
Unless there's ones that you particularly love.
Yeah.
I guess.
Like Recon.
Best mission.
Best mission ever.
Just do every single one Recon.
Great mission.
These sound really fun. These sound really, really fun. Like, to the point where you go on.
So I just had a thought about the 4 pillars one, the troops one. There's an orc culture which turns everything troops.
Wow.
So your whole army's troops for that one.
That's cool.
That could be pretty cool. I can't remember which culture.
Although, what would you be turning troops that you'd want to lob in the middle of the board?
Cool things like mega knobs.
The objectives are all spread out.
Oh, that mission,
yeah. I think you will also see more bodies on the board. There'll be more armies on the board.
Yeah, because everything's come down in points.
Well, yeah, but I also I mean that people will build.
Sorry,
more horde-like armies.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, to hold the.
I think we're going that way anyway. Though.
If I was going to a tournament soon that's going to use these, I would be very wary about timekeeping, because points are going down, so there's more things on the board, and I think you mentioned it earlier. There's way more bookkeeping with these. Games might not finish in time.
Yeah, I think also
get used to it.
I also think these are missions you have to play, like as in practice, because if you don't, like, you're going to be like, okay, so it's the end of the 3rd battle round, but this next mission is the start of the 2nd battle round, or like, you're going to want to know, I think, especially if you get to choose who goes first, you're going to be like, okay, it's so what was that last mission that was definitely good if you go second?
Vital intelligence.
Vital intelligence.
Yeah, vital intelligence. Vital intelligence is being like, so I roll off, I get to choose who goes first. Cool. I'm going to deploy. Like, I'm going to give you the first turn because I want to go second.
And the narrow research as well is good.
Yeah. So like, you're going to want to know exactly.
There is because ITC have some kind of a kind of complicated scoring mechanism. They when I went to my first ITC event, Twisted Dice, the Ace and the Twisted Dice guys ran. But I designed my own scoring sheet because I thought, right, I'm going to go to this event. I don't really know what I'm doing. Design my own scoring sheet. I later found out that they already have one made, so I didn't need to go for that effort.
Yeah.
But I feel that someone could design one for each mission.
At least with this one, you don't have to pick out secondaries.
That would be a really helpful resource for playing these missions. Like a little check sheet scoring guide thing.
Yeah. ETC has one as well. Because that's a mess.
So yeah, cool. But anyway, I personally think that they've made a game.
I think they made a better game. Yeah.
No, I think they've made a game.
Made a game in the first place.
Wow.
I mean, that's exciting.
That is exciting. What have we been playing then for the past 2 years?
Table your opponent.
We've been playing.
We have been playing that. We've been playing that for a year and a half. Table your opponent. We're now at playing a game stage.
Yeah. It's good.
Awesome.
I do like this.
That's exciting.
Overall, points and missions, I think Chapter Approved 2018 is good. I still don't like the point changes, but overall good.
Oh, like I get to play a game, man.
Yeah,
Like, that's like I'd take that all day
invaluable.
long. Yeah, it's invaluable. Like all the other criticisms aside, I personally think like we get to play a game, and I'm fucking chuffed. I'm so excited. I can't wait to play all of these several times.
It's definitely exciting to have these missions to play, because one of the great things I love about Age of Sigmar is you may be going against someone who can definitely kill the shit out of you, but you can go down swinging, scoring the objectives, and still win.
Yeah,
and that gives you the opportunity in these ones to go down swinging, but outplay.
It's also always a better system.
The question is 40k still overloaded on damage? You just don't have the amount of time.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you there, Tom. That's again, until we get to the points, we don't know whether or not that's true. That was always the issue with the Kharadron Overlords build.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, effectively, it was a one-time Alpha Strike versus it was a mobile Alpha Strike gun line that always won.
Yeah, so I get to go first.
It just goes. I get to go first.
Here.
No, it didn't though. It went. I get to go first. You go first. I get to choose. You go first. You go, okay, I'll move. They go, I land. All your shit's dead. Yeah? Or basically dead. Oh, I've got a double turn. You definitely lose.
It sounds like egregious drop pods.
Something like that. It was
you
just
drop down and you shoot everything, but except unlike drop pods, you actually kill it.
Yeah, it was just we played in an environment where there was it was just a kill mentality. Mm-hmm. It's better now. It would be cool to see where this is going with that, because I don't know if I necessarily see that sometimes. I see a lot of trades. I see I killed a more valuable unit than you. I don't know. We'll see.
I lost this unit, but I killed something more valuable.
Pardon me?
I lost this unit, but I killed something more valuable.
Yeah,
it's like what I do with my Shining Spears all the time.
Yeah, I also think there's a huge issue still facing the 40k community in that the fact that it's slow. They've added more units to the game. They've added more rules to the game.
More models now.
And they've added more complicated scenarios for winning to the game.
Formations as well.
And they've added
although the deployments are faster.
Deployments are faster.
I caught one.
Yeah. Small gains.
Small gains. Yeah, they've slowed every other factor down.
But
they've
made
sped up
faster.
Yeah.
Because people are finally finishing games, they need to make it more complex.
Yeah, Zaradin says you'll be working on turn 3, turn 4 scoring, but don't think you'll be seeing games getting to turn 5 onwards. Which I have to agree with.
Watch me.
Okay. Well, it's exciting.
Nurgle on Nurgle will.
Nurgle on Nurgle. But if you do want to see some games that are going to finish real quick, you should come and check out the Liga Nights, which we are doing on the 29th of
tickets
December.
left, right?
There are 2 tickets left.
Oh.
So get in contact with us either on Twitter or Facebook. That is an all-night battle with alternating activations.
But we're not doing it all night. It's a battle.
It's a day.
All night, all night, all day.
All day and all night we fight with knights.
Yes, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be really fun. Nicholas has done, like he said, 10 boards worth of train. It's going to look amazing. We're live streaming the event, so you got the opportunity to play on a live stream.
I've got a great looking suit.
Tom's got a great looking suit. The barman himself, Dan, today was like, I can't wait to hang out. He's told me today, he's like, I'm going to have a great day. He's like, I'm going to make teas and coffees. He did then also say, can you train me how to make coffees? And I said, what? And he went, I've never made coffee.
I worked in a country pub, never made a coffee.
It's like making, if you made a cup of soup,
yes,
then you made a coffee.
Oh.
It's the same thing. It's pouring.
There's a coffee machine. There's no cup of soup machine.
It's instant coffee. You just put in coffee and sugar and or milk, and then you stir it. Done.
But what's all this?
It might be the easiest thing humans can make.
Why does it all sound Italian?
It's almost as easy as playing Eldar.
If you're playing Mech Die, I agree with you. Yeah.
Herman says, I'm still looking for mission for League of Nights. Might have to be my Xmas Prezi for himself. So you should come along, Hermanista. We want those 2 tickets to go. Well, we do, because it's going to be a sold out event, and then it's going to be sweet. And Dino says that's not coffee. It's close enough to coffee. Dino says, thanks to you 2 for the show.
Thank you, Rob.
You guys, Merry Christmas to everyone at home. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to everyone on Twitch. And we will be back soon. Next Thursday. Don't turn anything off yet, Tom.
I'm not going to.
Some buttons.
I'm pressing.
We'll be back.
I'm not actually going to break it. I'm just
same time, same channel.
Every Thursday, talking about 40k. Next week we're going to do the points.
What's the point?
What's the point?
Yes.
What's the point? So hopefully we'll be doing the winners and losers. Oh no, wait, we may be back this Saturday.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, we're doing.
I think we are back.
I think we are back. Yeah.
So this Saturday the
What's the date? 13th, 14th, 15th.
Saturday.
Saturday the 15th of December, a live chapter-approved mission.
An over-explain.
An over-explain game. Over-explain
An
game.
over-explain.
I can't do it.
I've already written a list.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone. The podcast will go up in the next... Tonight. They're going up tonight.
In 5 seconds' time.
Yeah. So thank you to everyone on Twitch, and thank you to everyone on Patreon who helped make this content. You guys are the best.
Cool. Thanks, guys.